listening to the official Wrestling News Source podcast. For all of your information, go to WrestlingNewsSource.com or check us out on Facebook by searching WrestlingNewsSource.com or WNS Podcast. You can also find us on YouTube, Twitter, Stitcher, and iTunes by searching Wrestling News Source Podcast or WNS Podcast. Now being broadcast in over 45 different countries, here are your hosts, Daniel Herron, Tyler Abear, and Doug.
That's right. What's up, everyone? I am Daniel Herron.
I'm Tyler Abear.
I'm Doug.
And we welcome you to episode 215 of the official podcast for WrestlingNewsSource.com. For all of your information, go to WrestlingNewsSource.com. Check us out on Facebook, WrestlingNewsSource.com. You can find us on Facebook, WNS Podcast, on YouTube, WNS Video, and on iTunes, Wrestling News Source Podcast.
We are also on Stitcher, Beyond Pod, and Player.fm. Just search Wrestling News Source Podcast to find us.
Follow the podcast on Twitter at WNS Podcast. You can follow Daniel at WNS_Daniel, Tyler at Tyler_Abear.
There you go.
Shaking his head.
So welcome to the show. Got lots to talk about this week. We're going to dive into some feedback, talk about Fastlane, going to talk about Raw, Total Divas, Lucha Underground, NXT, Q&A, all that other good stuff.
But first, how you guys doing?
How you guys doing? No, this week we have a very special guest all the way from Doomsday Wrestling, our good friend Tex Lonestar.
That's it. Oh, guys. Oh, cut it out. Sit down. Okay, folks, I'm not big for speeches. I'm not one for speeches, but I can hear the El Bano clap. It's contagious. That clap is not for me, folks. It's for El Bano, who is one of the many featured mat magicians at Doomsday Wrestling. You know, WWE calls them superstars. We call them mat magicians at Doomsday Wrestling because they perform magic in the ring.
That's the proper term.
That's the proper term. And
so welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks again.
We certainly appreciate you coming down and spending some time with us.
Hey, I tell you what, any chance I get, if I need a little break to clear my head from all this hardcore promoting I do, I come to Beaumont, Texas, and spend some time with my favorite folks, the guys at WNS Podcast. That's
all right.
Larry, Joseph, and Darnell.
One of these days, I think you'll get it.
These three guys, they make me feel at home. Earlier tonight, before the show, they treated me to an exquisite dinner at Golden Corral. And when we got back to the studio here, I was treated to a free Coca-Cola out of a vending machine.
Yeah?
It's the best.
Delicious.
You just can't top it.
And you can't top
Only for the best.
A vending machine Coca-Cola.
Nothing but the best for the best.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
You know, I have that tattooed on my back.
Oh, really?
Nothing but the best for the best. That's right. I do have that.
Well, good to know. And like I said, you are here to help promote Doomsday Wrestling taking place this Saturday out at Numbers.
That's right.
In Houston.
In Houston, Texas.
Great show.
Numbers Nightclub. Doomsday Wrestling will be appearing Doomsday 24. This episode is titled Montezuma's Revenge, and you come on down this Saturday at Numbers 300 Westheimer and find out why. Violence has never been this funny. Doomsday Wrestling at Numbers, Saturday, February 28th. That's this Saturday, folks. Doomsday Wrestling.
Very good stuff. And there are a few matches that have been announced so far. I know we've got Hot Flash going up against the Russian Bear.
That's right. Hot Flash, the menopausal maiden, age 57, folks. She might not be able to give birth, but she can reproduce victories in the ring. Folks, she can do it. I said that backwards, but you get the idea. The Russian Bear, former KGB agent, been cryogenically frozen and been recently unthawed. And, folks, he is unleashing a wave of communist terror on Houston, Texas, and I think only Hot Flash can stop him.
Absolutely. There's also another matchup. Precious Jewels going up against El Bano.
That's right, El Bano, the toilet-toting luchador, famous for his, what is it? The El Bano clap. You hear it? That's the El Bano clap, and the clap is contagious, folks.
I got the fever.
Oh, we all got the fever, and I got the clap, folks. And the runs. No, I'm just kidding. I don't have the runs. But maybe I do. I did eat at Golden Corral, didn't I?
That'll come later.
Yeah, that's all for later.
El Bano, man, he's super strong, always carrying a toilet around, man.
Oh,
he has to be super strong.
And that all started, you know, he is kind of a germaphobe. He hates using public toilets, so he brings his own toilet wherever he goes because he refuses to.
He cleans his own toilet, huh?
He doesn't clean it, but he uses his own toilet.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I don't know if anyone else uses it. I hope not. But,
we have seen it in use in a match before.
Oh, yeah. Well, the thing is, there's a loophole in the Doomsday Wrestling rulebook, which you'll be able to purchase this Saturday at Doomsday Wrestling. Just go to the bartender and ask them for a copy of the Doomsday Wrestling rulebook, and they'll hook you up. But there's a loophole in that rule book that it doesn't say anything about toilets being illegal. So the referees cannot enforce that toilets are indeed illegal. So El Bano is free to bring his toilet into the ring and do what he pleases with it.
Good to know.
That's right. And he'll be facing Precious Jules. Precious Jules is a mystery surrounded by enigma, wrapped in a riddle. He is a multi-time Doomsday Wrestling World Heavyweight Champion.
I thought he was wrapped in a conundrum.
Well, this time he's going to be wrapped in a riddle? That's right. He's wrapped. He's going to be wrapped up, folks. He might be wrapped up in a tortilla this time. You never know.
He's going to need protection if he's going up against El Bano.
Oh, he's going to need all the help he can get. But like I said, this man is unpredictable. He's capable of amazing things. We've seen this man multiply himself. We've seen him possess people. We've seen him impregnate somebody without even having intercourse with them. And then the woman, who was my daughter, by the way, gave birth to himself. It was very, very hard to explain, folks. You can check out the Doomsday website for more information on that.
This creature has powers, man.
He's got powers, but El Bano, he is the toilet-toting luchador, and he is in his prime, folks. So that's going to be one heck of a contest.
He's going to be able to flush the competition.
Oh, he's going to flush out the competition, and you never know, Precious Jules just might have a little accident on the way to the ring.
It's that, I mean, you're going places that Doomsday normally wouldn't go, having these kind of competitors.
That's true. We are going to an exciting new low this Saturday, February 28th at Numbers.
Would it be fair to say that El Bano sort of inherits the spirit of Montezuma in a way? You did mention that the subtitle of the show was Montezuma's Revenge, and
that's right.
So that can't be a coincidence. There has to be some sort of connection there.
Is there? Is it just a coincidence? I don't know, Darnell. It could be, or it might not be. You never know. Does Darnell? He is of Latin descent, and Montezuma was an Aztec emperor who is now famous for the catchphrase "Montezuma's Revenge," and we all know what that is, right?
Shit.
Well, we've all. Well, yeah. Well, it's. I mentioned it earlier. The runs. So, and El Bano does carry a toilet, so it does seem a little coincidental. But you'll have to find out this Saturday, February 28th at Numbers.
Yeah.
That's how you make the sell.
Running shit.
Yeah,
that's right.
So other matches, I know fan favorite Beefy Joe's going to be in action.
That's right. The butcher turned wrestler, straight out of Hoboken. The butcher turned wrestler. I just said that straight out of Hoboken. What the hell's wrong? I'm having a stroke, folks.
Whoa, get some help for
okay,
us, man.
I'm over my stroke, folks. I'm over my
Get
stroke.
that man another Coke.
And Beefy Joe, he'll be going one-on-one with a newcomer to Doomsday Wrestling, Bo Jaffo, the Immortal Genie. After over 5,000 years of imprisonment in a lamp, he has finally been freed, and he will be facing the butcher turned wrestler.
Very interesting.
Meat versus magic.
Yeah, that's a hard
Magic
sell in
meat.
itself.
Magic meat.
Meat.
That was my nickname in high school.
What's your favorite kind of meat, Tex?
Are you coming on to me? No, my favorite kind of meat, like on a sandwich, or just eat it by itself, or just period.
I'm coming on to you. You'll know.
Oh, okay. Okay. My favorite type of meat. Lately I've been. I guess I like pork. I like sausage. I like barbecue pork.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I like. What about you guys?
I'm a beef guy.
Yeah. A beefcake, you said?
I'm also a beefcake.
So another matchup that's lined up for Doomsday
That's
Wrestling.
the guy's question.
Yeah, Lewis.
Like-
Do you have a favorite meat?
Ground beef. I like ground beef.
Ground beef. You like just plain? You eat it by itself?
Yeah,
just a bowl of ground beef.
That's all I need. A little taco seasoning on it, and then I'm good to go.
Like ground
Make
beef
a little
or-
Tex-Mex going.
I like that. Okay,
Yeah,
what about you?
That's the good stuff.
Roast?
beef.
Like pot roast or just roast beef?
Yeah.
Roast beef. Does it remind you of anything? That's a terrible joke I just made. You're losing your kid viewers tonight.
So Charlene Lone Star is going to be in action.
Speaking of kids.
Speaking of meat,
Oh, hey! Watch your filthy mouth. Shut your whore's mouth over there. My daughter, 15-year-old Charlene Lone Star, would not know. This would all go over her head if she was listening. Charlene, if you're listening, go to bed. You have a match. This Saturday. We have no time for this. Charlene
Get back to training.
Back to training. I got her training right now, folks. She's in the gym right now, training hard.
Punching meat.
Rocky
You guys,
style.
this is getting out of hand. I mean, I usually enjoy my visits to Beaumont, Texas, but right now, no, seriously, I love you guys.
We love you too.
But let's not go too far with this, but my daughter, Charlene Lonestar, 15 years of age, has already held the Doomsday Wrestling World Heavyweight Championship multiple times, will be facing another newcomer to Doomsday Wrestling, and that is the feral lady, Animalia the Untamed. Animalia the Untamed was discovered in the woods at Baytown, Texas, foaming at the mouth. She probably has fleas, folks. She probably needs a tick bath, but she'll be unleashed upon my daughter this Saturday at Numbers. And, folks, CPS, Child Protective Services, will probably be all over me after this one.
So definitely want to make sure you catch that matchup. I know there's another matchup involving a relatively newcomer. Mr. Cuddles going to be in action.
That's right, Mr. Cuddles. He made his Doomsday debut last year. He didn't quite pull off a victory, but he was very popular with the fans, especially the kids. He is also known as the Feline Fury. He is neutered, folks, but he hasn't been declawed. Don't think that this man is tame for a minute. He'll be facing who will he be facing? I got to go over the card. Oh, another newcomer. Folks, Doomsday Wrestling is just full of talent, folks. Full of talents just bursting at the seams. We got so much talent on the roster, so much talent in the locker room, so much talent in the backseat of my car that we just can't contain it, folks. We have to find room for all this talent.
Better than the trunk, I guess.
Yeah, and folks, there's some talent in the trunk, too. Maybe some under the hood. And we have to unleash this talent, folks, just a little bit at a time. And this Saturday, Mr. Cuddles, the Feline Fury, will be meeting Top Banana in the ring. That's right. I said Top Banana, folks. He's the whole enchilada. He's the big G's. He's just known as Top Banana, folks.
So say he's a banana. He's not an enchilada.
No, he's not a banana or is he an enchilada. He's a wrestler. Okay, he's not literally a banana. I mean, watching a cat fight a banana. I mean, those days where we had to book a cat fighting a banana are over. We don't do that anymore. Okay, this is now a man. A man. It's a sign of bravado. Like, I'm the top banana. You know.
Oh, okay, I got you. I got confused. Sorry.
He gets a lot of grief over that name. You know, when he's in the airport or when he's just making public appearances. You know, people think he's part banana.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what, he always says if there's any ladies in the audience who need a little potassium, come see him.
Get a little potassium in them?
I wouldn't know, but that's what he said.
Potassium.
Let's just say a lot of folks want to peel the top banana.
So really good stuff. 5 matches announced so far.
You know what's also good? Banana smoothie.
Absolutely.
If you want to go off on this banana tangent.
Nice and smooth. So, 5 matches announced so far. Many
That's
more
right.
to happen this Saturday.
Oh,
at
yeah.
Numbers.
That's just the tip of the iceberg, folks.
But I do notice that you brought the Doomsday Championship belt with us.
I sure
Or
did.
with you, I should say.
Yeah. Well,
to display for us.
I did, just to show you, and we can get a shot of that with our camera, if you can, yeah, there you go. Get a shot of that, our cameraman.
I'll post it on the Facebook page.
Yeah, go ahead and post that. Okay, folks. Yeah, I have it. It usually would be resting upon the gorgeous waist of Chuck Wagon, our former Doomsday Wrestling World Heavyweight Champion. Folks, I said former. Underline that word. Unfortunate series of events, folks. Chuck Wagon is suffering, poor guy, I feel bad for him, is suffering from a severe case of irritable bowel syndrome, IBS. And
he always seems to have bad luck.
He's had some terrible luck, folks.
Happens to the best of us.
Yeah.
We've all had irritable
Ups and
bowel
downs.
syndrome.
You win the championship, you get IBS. And
Yeah, I mean,
that's part of life.
Stuff
Yeah,
like that.
yeah. I mean, I'm wearing an adult diaper right now just in case.
Well, that's what that smell was.
Yeah, just in case. I don't want to make a mess of things. But Chuck Wagon, he was stricken with the IBS, and as tragic as that is, the board of directors of Doomsday Wrestling told me that we have to strip him of the title because he will not be appearing, or at least not defending his title this Saturday at Numbers at Doomsday Wrestling. So what we're going to do, folks, is those 5 matches we just announced, the winners of each of those 5 matches will go on to a 5-wrestler showdown to determine a new, undisputed Doomsday Wrestling World Heavyweight Champion this Saturday at Numbers, folks.
It's Doomsday Wrestling.
Doomsday Wrestling, that's right.
DoomsdayWrestling.com.
Is that an exclusive?
Yes. Well, there's a few exclusives. The Top Banana match versus Mr. Cuddles. That's what is that? What is it?
WNS Podcast exclusive.
That's right. Brought to you by Tex Lonestar of Doomsday Wrestling. I got another exclusive for you, folks. I got another one. You guys didn't see this coming, but I know a lot of you out there, folks, love to get your mouth around just a hot serving of authentic Tex-Mex cuisine.
And we love our Tex-Mex.
We all love our Tex-Mex. We are in Texas, folks. And if you're like me, your favorite Tex-Mex is at Pancho's Mexican Buffet. You guys ever eat at Pancho's Mexican Buffet?
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm currently the night manager at Pancho's Mexican Buffet. After this show, I'm going to have to go pick up a shift. I need some extra money, pay the rent coming up, folks. Because anyway, back on track. Pancho's Mexican Buffet. If you ever need service, you just got to raise the flag. If you need a refill, if you need a massage, anything, Tex Lonestar will be there at Pancho's serving you fresh sopapillas, enchiladas, and chili relleno. I'm trying to speak with an accent to try to be more authentic. It's not really working, but folks,
C.
there you go. C. That means yes. This weekend, this Saturday, Doomsday Wrestling, we will be giving away a free dinner for two at Pancho's Mexican Buffet. What other reason? What more reason do you need to come down there? Even if you hate wrestling, or you hate comedy, or you hate having a good time, you gotta love Tex-Mex wrestling food.
Everybody loves ponchos.
Yeah, everyone loves ponchos. No one hates ponchos.
Chips and salsa all around.
That's right.
There's got to be a cap on that dinner, though, right? I mean,
A dinner for two. I'm the night manager. I can pull some strings.
okay.
I'm kind of a big deal, Doug.
Hey, you got your name right.
Hey, I did get your name. Is that your name?
I thought it was Darnell.
Oh,
My name's Darnell.
sorry, Darnell.
So what you're saying is whoever wins will eat Tex-Mex.
No.
with
It's
Tex.
not. It's not for the wrestlers. The wrestlers.
No,
they're on
I'm
strict
saying
diets.
whoever wins. No, I mean like
Do they
whoever
get to
comes-
dine with you?
Yeah,
Oh.
dine with you.
Well, if I'm not too busy working.
Okay,
yeah,
cool,
definitely.
yeah.
Definitely.
You are a busy man.
Yeah.
I am a busy man. I'm either serving up fresh sopapillas and lowering flags from raised flags because people demand service.
Right,
they raise
right.
the flag at
That's how they
Poncho's.
do
That's
it.
how it works.
Yeah.
I'm either promoting wrestling shows or serving up authentic Tex-Mex cuisine
All right.
for now.
The good stuff.
Oh, also, I know you said that the belt is online for the 5 people who win those matches, but
That's right.
since you have the belt in the studio, I thought the belt was supposed to be for us. I'm just saying, I thought it was for us.
You guys haven't won anything. Well, why would I just give out free belts every time I show up?
I thought we had won your affection. But
Yeah.
Well, you did
won
win
it
my
with
affection.
love.
I could get you a belt for
food.
that.
All right.
Yeah, but did you think I just had one belt for the 3 y'all to somehow fit into?
Oh, we'll fight for
We'll
it.
fight for it. That's
Oh,
no
okay.
problem.
Oh, well, then there's a fight. There's a
Yeah.
right there, and the victor will get the belt. There
Yeah.
you go. Okay, well, that's good thinking. You have a mind for wrestling, I can tell right there.
Yes.
And that's why we're on this is a
It'll be-
wrestling
Oh shit, he
podcast.
has
be a good
he
fight.
has scissors in his
It'll be a
hand.
good fight. I promise you.
Yeah, he's holding a pair of scissors in
Very-
his hands.
Very action filled.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. He's gonna give us all haircuts.
Who do you think would win a fight between the 3 of us?
The three of y'all. Now let's think about this. Does anybody have any fighting training or anything? You do?
I do the kicker, you know.
Oh, yeah. Well, you're not supposed to say that, right? Or well, I don't know. But
I can say what I want.
wait. So you have fighting training, Doug?
Yes.
You do? In what? Sudoku?
Boxing, Muay Thai.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm laughing.
I grew up-
That's
A little bit of jiu-jitsu.
really? When you say a little bit, did you go one time or what? I mean, how,
That free trial you got to go.
Just a couple of years.
and boxing, is that from playing like Punch Out on the Nintendo?
No.
Okay, so
I'm a killing machine.
so
He's up to Nintendo Wii where you got to actually punch.
so do you guys? The other 2 guys, whatever your names are, do you guys have any fighting training of any sort?
No.
Okay, now
Cockfighting.
I'll tell you.
Yeah, I'll poke your eye out.
I'll tell you this: there are 2 secrets, or there are 2 things you need to know about being successful. The first thing is never reveal everything.
there you go.
Ah.
You beautiful son of a bitch! I can't believe you pulled that over on me. Well, let me say this. I'll say this. All the skills, those really help, but I think it would just depend on you guys who's the most angry. And are we talking about a scenario where you guys just hate each other's guts, or we're just trying to see who can beat each other up?
That's a pretty accurate scenario.
You guys hate each other's guts? I don't know. I might have to. Well, you have a fiance and you have a
Yeah.
girlfriend. You don't have a girlfriend. You're a pretty lonely man.
We were
right?
both engaged.
Okay, so he has nothing to lose. Doug has nothing to lose, and he has training. So I'm gonna go with Doug.
Which means I have everything to fight for.
You have everything. Well, that's true. But this guy will do things that. I mean,
Well, I have a machete, so
yeah. Well,
He also has a unicycle.
and a
oh, yeah.
unicycle.
You should. Can you ride the unicycle?
No, I suck at it.
Really? How long have you had it?
like
for
3
a long
years.
time. And I
You got it
tried
for
riding it. I was
birthday.
like, damn it. And then, I had it in the house, and I ran up a wall, so there's, tire marks on the wall.
I'm seeing a $sign on you because if you can learn to ride that unicycle and wield that machete, and we get a couple of watermelons,
shit,
I'll
man.
put you on at the intermission show at Doomsday Wrestling.
Oh, okay. I'll learn it then.
You learn that's
Sweet.
incentive. That'll light a fire
I've been
into
telling
you.
him he didn't even learn it and
Yeah.
cash in on it.
And let me tell you, you ride a unicycle from experience. You ride a unicycle, you get tons of pussy. Let me say that. I usually don't say that word, but riding a unicycle, it does it. It does it for him. You know, Ringo Starr used to ride a unicycle. And look at
You
him.
got a shit
Look at
load
him.
of pussy, huh?
Oh my God, Ringo's. Yeah, of course he did. Ringo Starr. You know that band he was in, the Ringo Starr All Star Band.
Oh, okay. That's
Yeah.
what it was called.
Kind of dating y'all. Huh? I'm kind of showing my age here, aren't I? All you youngins.
I'm afraid I don't know that one. I'm sorry.
Oh, well, they performed at
apologize.
Astroworld one time.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, back in the day. They did.
Yeah, well, that's good to know.
Yeah.
Do you think they're, didn't they say they're going to be rebuilding Astroworld?
I didn't hear that. I would love that. Well, maybe I would.
I thought
love
there
that.
was
I don't know.
like maybe a voting or something like
Huh.
that that may have happened.
I don't know. I mean, is there a
once
call
while
for it? Do you think? I mean, is there a demand? I mean, you think it would do well?
Hey, I'll be right back. Montezuma's Revenge.
back. Okay.
Oh, little early.
This
Montezuma's
Saturday,
Revenge.
outed numbers.
This Saturday, he might be be on the throne for till Saturday.
Doomsday Wrestling.
That's right. That's
With
right.
our very good friend Tex Lonestar.
Oh well, thank you, Doug. Has left the room. Now we can say all sorts of things about him.
Yeah.
That motherfucker.
Yeah, horrible man.
I love
So
him.
you think he'd win? Is that
Well,
what
I mean, if he's not lying about all the training he's had, and he's like just rattling off, Muay Thai, Jiu Jitsu, Brazilian, whatever, and you know, if he's not lying about that, then and he can get pretty angry. But he seems kind of lazy, doesn't he? It seems like in the middle of the fight he just might not give up out of fear or thinking he can't win. He just might get tired or not even exhausted. Just
I
kind of
think
like
that's-
I don't feel like it.
I think that's mind game.
What?
I think that's a mind game.
Like psychological warfare. He might also be a
he's
master
giving you
of
the impression
psychological
that,
warfare.
that he's like that, but he's
Oh, man.
secretly,
Well, I'm glad I don't
beast.
have to fight him. It's unfortunate that you two guys do.
Well, since he's out of the room, would that be considered a count out?
Oh, I didn't know the fight's happening now.
Oh, well, I mean, if it's for the title, you tell us when. And
I don't know if that I only put the title on the line when it's a big money scenario.
Man.
You know,
all right.
I KO with my elbow.
hey, I like that,
I can cuss with my kicks.
He's stealing those lines.
man. Then you're like a poet, and you didn't
Show it.
even didn't even know it
Didn't even have knowledge of it.
because he didn't go to college. Poet.
Yeah. So Doomsday Wrestling
That's right,
this
folks.
Saturday.
That's right. I got to say, it's always a pleasure to come down here, visit these guys here at
Yeah.
WNS Podcast, Wrestling News Source, where I get all my news when it comes to pro wrestling. I really don't know much about pro wrestling, though, other than Doomsday Wrestling, as far as I'm concerned. That's the only pro wrestling
What else
promotion
is
there
there?
is.
I mean,
What
come
else
on.
is there?
Yeah. All the
nothing
people
better.
that are listening to this that don't live in, our area or Houston or not even Texas, if you get a chance, fly in
Oh, yeah.
to Houston.
And like I said, if you fly in here, if you can show me your boarding pass, some proof that you flew over here, you can stay at my house. You
Wow.
can stay at my house, folks. I'll make Charlene sleep on the couch. You can sleep in her bed.
There you go.
Now, do you live in is it like a ranch or is it just a regular home in Houston or?
2-room apartment.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I mean,
Upstairs,
We'll
downstairs.
say ranch. We'll say
No,
ranch.
well, no. We in one room. Charlene has bunk beds, and I kind of sit up on the bunk bed sometimes when I'm, when I'm on the internet or whatever. I imagine that I live in a 2-story house when I'm up there.
Oh, that's
I pretend I'm in a
Sort
I'm
of
in
like
a
your
penthouse.
loft area.
Yeah, it's like a loft.
Okay.
Whoa. I'll call it a
Whoa,
loft.
this is big.
Yeah, pretty impressive.
The Lone Star Loft.
The Lone Star Estate.
Lone Star State.
That's right.
Good to know.
Manor.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. The good stuff.
Yeah, there you go, man. I feel naked without Doug here. I don't know. I don't know what to do.
It might be a while before he gets back. I don't know.
Montezuma's
one.
revenge.
Yeah.
One hell of a revenge.
Yeah, Montezuma's having his revenge.
Feel so bad for Chuck Wagon though.
Yeah, he fought so hard. He worked his way up. He was a referee for the longest time, and then in a surprise fluke situation, he got a chance to fight for the Doomsday Wrestling World Heavyweight Championship. And another surprise fluke, he pulled it off. He won.
Yeah.
He beat the Fabulous Bunny Boys, who were then co-champions.
Yeah.
And he lived out his dream. A lot of people always told Chuck, "You're too small to be a wrestler. Your asthma will keep you down. Your chronic pornography addiction will always keep you out of the wrestling game." But he shut them all up, and
The
he
fact
showed
that you're
them.
a referee and not an actual
Yeah, a
in-ring
referee. I mean,
competitor.
and that it kind of the IBS that he's suffering from is kind of sort of a blessing in disguise because there's Doug, a master of the martial arts. coming back from the bathroom, where he bested Montezuma. It's kind of a blessing in
He came
disguise.
back and he lived to tell the
Oh,
tale.
yeah. Look at him. He looks 10 pounds lighter. And it's kind of a blessing in disguise that Chuck did take the IBS. I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy, but it was going to be a nightmare, an administrative nightmare, having Chuck Wagon referee his own matches while he's defending the Doomsday Wrestling World Heavyweight Championship.
I could see the conflict of interest.
It would have been a
there.
conflict of interest and it would have been bad. It would have been as controversial as the Kardashians. It would have just been
A biased official.
a biased official. It would have.
That doesn't work for anybody.
May have been the downfall of society.
Yeah, I know Daniel's sad to hear him that he, can't defend the title and all that stuff, because whenever Chuck Wagon won, he stood up and there was a tear in his eye and he was clapping.
I was very happy. It was an emotional moment.
Man, I'm sorry.
The fact whenever he got up on the apron to get ready for his matchup, and he removed his referee shirt to reveal his wrestling gear, which was another referee shirt.
That's right.
That's just
he always comes prepared. That guy.
Yeah.
He's
You
always
never know.
He was always dreaming of being a Doomsday Wrestling mat magician one day, and he lived out his dream, and he always wore that underneath his
Well, I hope he
referee attire.
I hope he has a speedy recovery on that one.
There's always a chance he might be back there at the last minute. To defend his title. We'll see.
Oh, okay.
We'll see.
We'll have to see. This Saturday.
This Saturday at Numbers, February 28th, Doomsday Wrestling. Violence has never been this funny. If you're out of town, or if you're out of the state, and you're looking for a little fun, little something different, you come down to Houston, Texas. I'll show you around.
Show you a good time.
We'll show you a good time, and
You might even win a free dinner.
you might win a free dinner at Poncho's. I'll let you stay at my house. That's room and board right there. All you got to do is pay the airfare, and the airfare back. And anything else you might need. You're not getting in the show for free. Don't think for a second that you are, folks. I'm a desperate man. Did I tell you guys I'm the night manager at Poncho's Mexican Buffet? Did I tell you about that?
I think you mentioned it.
Okay, well,
Good.
let's
to
just
know.
leave
We
it.
respect you enough. I mean, you don't have to keep flaunting your accomplishments.
I'm sorry. I'm just so proud. I'm so proud of it.
As we've known you through the years, you've progressed.
Oh my gosh, things are really looking up for old Tex Lonestar now, aren't they? That's right.
Night manager at Poncho's.
A public service announcement. I don't know if you guys covered this while I had to step out, but apparently the San Cheesies are new this time, and you don't
Yes.
want to rub your eyes.
Yeah,
after.
that's true. The Dirty Sanchez, the distributor and manufacturer of our San Cheesies projectile products, which we give to the audience before every Doomsday Wrestling event.
Just for showing up.
Yeah, just for showing up for free. For free. That's worth the price of admission alone. We always give those out to the audience. It's just our way of saying thank you for your support, and it gives you something to hurl at your favorite wrestlers or your least favorite wrestlers. This time around, we're using a much spicier jalapeno cheddar flavor, but shouldn't really matter because you're not supposed to eat the things anyway. They're for throwing.
That's what the disclaimer's for.
Yeah, and
Just don't rub your eyes.
yeah, and don't rub your eyes. You might want to wear gloves when you
Or
show up.
goggles.
Or goggles. Yeah, you might just want to wear a full bodysuit when you're at Numbers because it is a filthy place. They never clean that place.
They'll have soap in the bathroom.
Bathrooms are terrible.
Oh, I never use the bathroom there. Never use the bathroom. That's another one of the reasons why Albano brings his own toilet.
Absolutely.
Because of the Numbers bathroom.
Dirty Sanchez is
It's a
there as
nightmare
well.
scenario for Montezuma's revenge.
It's a perfect breeding ground for Montezuma's revenge. Let's just say that.
To make a couple of extra bucks on the side, you should pull out some pay porta potties,
Maybe so. Maybe I could do that. Yeah, that's good. That's it. You're an entrepreneur, aren't you? And you're also a master of the martial arts, apparently.
And you could sell the toilet paper to the customers.
That's how they do it. I've been to a few foreign countries, and they do that. They actually sell you outside of
Charge you
a
for
toilet. There's not toilet paper inside, but they have someone standing outside for 50 cents. Here's a roll of toilet paper.
Wow.
Yeah.
I hope I get to take this home or
Yeah.
something. 'Cause
Yeah, I never use it just because I collect foreign toilet paper. I have a huge foreign toilet paper.
What's your
collection.
favorite kind?
I like Icelandic
Yeah.
toilet paper.
Anything that sets it apart from the others?
I got it in Iceland.
Oh.
That's all.
We're talking a nice 2-ply here.
No, it's not even 2-ply. And to be honest, I've never been to Iceland. I had a friend who was there who mailed me some.
Oh.
And it was just a few squares of it.
Oh, okay,
I don't even
cool.
know what 2-ply means. Everything I know about toilet paper I learned from Al Bundy on Married with Children. So.
Oh, well, he's the guy if you want to learn about toilet paper. I think 2-ply means it's double stacked, right? Like
Yeah.
it's double sheeted.
2 layers of,
2 layers.
of
There you
paper.
go. Yeah. Imagine
Or
that.
ply.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, very good stuff. Thank you very much, Tex, for
Well,
coming
thank you.
in.
Thank you, guys. Be sure and come see your favorite stars this Saturday. El Bano, Precious Jules, Hot Flash, Beefy Joe, Mr. Cuddles, Bo Joffo, the Immortal Genie, and many, 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 many more. Not to mention my daughter, Charlene Lonestar. Not to mention Animalia the Untamed. Lots of pretty ladies there. Top Banana will be there. He's not a pretty lady, but he'll
Tex
be
Lonestar.
And me, the prettiest lady. Oh, I didn't mean to say that. The prettiest person. I don't know what I'm. Tex Lonestar will be there. That's me, folks. Saturday, February 28th. Doomsday Wrestling. Violence has never been this funny. Thank you, guys.
Yeah,
Good
don't
stuff.
forget to check out Doomsday on the internet. You can go to doomsdaywrestling.com.
That's right.
You can follow them on Twitter at Doomsday Houston.
Yeah, that's right.
Facebook, Doomsday Wrestling as well.
Or you can hit me up on Facebook at Tex Lonestar Doomsday Wrestling.
Do it.
The good stuff. So there you go. Let's dive on into some feedback because we've got a lot to cover this week. The first bit of feedback we have is from Brandon saying, I think I'm one of the few who actually don't like Daniel Bryan. I respect the way he can wrestle and put on a great match, yet I can't seem to bring myself to cheer for him. And I think that's fair. You know, that's a fair criticism. If it's just not your guy, it's not your guy. You know, not much you can really.
Did you guys ask for feedback about Daniel Bryan, or is this guy just Brandon? Just
people who listen to the show and can contribute their thoughts on it?
Oh, okay. But I mean, is all this feedback going to be about Daniel Bryan?
No.
Oh, okay. It's just about anything. Okay.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say that he's been presented very poorly since he's been brought back.
Mm-hmm.
So I myself am a huge Daniel Bryan fan and found a lot of trouble, trying to get behind him since he's come back from injury. So
Yeah.
he's been presented really badly.
Mm-hmm.
One might even argue he was presented badly on purpose to, sort of let Roman look better in comparison. I don't know.
It's funny because I don't know about any of this stuff you're talking about, but I've heard of Roman Reigns, and when you were talking about that, I thought, well, maybe they're not putting the spotlight on him because they want this other guy to shine.
That's right.
Yep.
So thanks
That's
for the
rock and roll,
feedback.
folks.
Yeah, that's how it goes. So thanks for the feedback. Next bit of feedback we have is from Parker saying, I think the will Cena be heel and will Cena ever tap out mentality is sort of stupid because he has been heel and he has tapped out to Kurt Angle. I guess one argument you can make is that was over a decade ago. So for the newer wrestling fans, the younger wrestling crowd who don't know that much about Cena or, who didn't know about those days.
It's really a different persona at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember a Ricky Steamboat at WrestleMania 3, that epic match he had with Macho Man, and he won, and it was the greatest match of all time. Like shortly after, I think less than 2 years later, or maybe 3 years later, he reappeared he left WWF at the time, and he came back 3 years later as the Dragon with his whole dragon costume, and they acted like they had never seen him before. So they just, they select what they want to remember or not.
Yeah.
It's
Selective memory.
Yeah, I mean, they could say that. I mean, they could say tomorrow that Undertaker never lost his match with Brock Lesnar, and nobody'd notice.
Yeah.
No, I'm joking.
But thank you very much, Parker. Yeah.
Did you put chapstick on? This mic smells like chapstick.
That's Mr. A.
I can tell.
What flavor is it?
Cherry.
Cherry. There you go. Next bit of feedback we
There's a
have.
Yola Tango song called Cherry Chapstick. Have you ever heard of it? Of course you haven't.
Oh, this hipster with his. You never heard of this?
No, I'm just kidding. I mean, not about it. There being a song by Yola Tango. That's a real song.
The next bit of feedback we have is from Ace.
I was kidding about
A
being
real
an asshole.
song? I don't know any real songs.
Next feedback
Fuck
we
you,
have.
Tex Lonestar.
The next bit of feedback we have is from Ace McSpade saying, another great podcast, guys. Thanks for the free entertainment and keep up the good work.
Hey,
Oh,
thanks.
that's nice.
Yeah,
Thanks, Ace.
Thanks for listening. We appreciate
Appreciate
that. So the last bit of feedback we have is from Carl saying WWE Carl.
Oh, you're making fun of a guy's name.
Carl stated, WWE stated that current subscribers would get a free month. I got something about that in the mail, and it made me happy. So there you go. So,
Yeah, we might have misspoke.
current WWE subscribers.
Carl, I like the name Carl. It reminds me of Carl Sagan. Don't listen
Carl
to
with a K.
WWE's. Well, I guess it's spelled differently, but it still reminds me of Carl Sagan. And there's no need to feel bad about your name, Carl.
Absolutely.
These
not.
men are trying to make you feel bad about your name. These men are bullies. They have bullied people into suicide before using their show. They originally started this show just so they could bully people into committing suicide. And Carl, I don't want you on that list. Carl, if you ever need help,
Stay safe, Carl.
if you ever need help, just reach out to me this Saturday, February 28th at Numbers. Doomsday Wrestling is here to solve all your problems.
Free food and ponchos.
Possibly.
Possible. So there you go. So let's
I heard that if you download the Sports Beaumont app, you could listen to the Doomsday Show like streaming live.
oh yeah.
You can. You certainly can. You certainly can. Also, if you turn on your television 4 hours later after Doomsday has gone on, any station it'll be playing. It'll be playing on all stations.
That's good to know. I'll set my DVR.
Yeah.
All right. So let's dive on into Fastlane. Happened this past Sunday. Going to dive on into the results. Nothing really, no matches during the kickoff show, so we'll get right into the pay-per-view
They
itself.
had the Miz TV with Heyman,
Which,
Sandow sitting in the corner.
yeah. Apparently Miz can put Sandow in the corner. So, opening matchup, Kane, Big Show, and Seth
Is that
Rollins.
a Dirty Dancing joke?
Kind of, but he's not a baby, so.
Patrick Swayze,
Yeah, Patrick Swayze, great Texan.
great
Hey.
Texan.
Hey, don't say anything bad about Patrick Swayze. You know what? I've been in a backyard, the backyard that Patrick Swayze was once upon a time married in.
Really?
Just let that sink in.
Oh.
Yeah. Actually, I wasn't in the backyard. Someone told me. A friend of mine told me that they were in the backyard one time.
Did they show you which backyard? Or
No, they just said they were there.
Oh, they were in the backyard?
Yeah, they
didn't
said I
specify
was
as
at
to
a
which
friend's
backyard?
A friend of a friend's backyard,
Oh,
and they told me that Patrick Swayze once upon a time was married in there.
wow.
Yeah.
All right.
So I'm pretty close to Patrick Swayze. There's not too many degrees
Well,
of separation there.
The ghost of Patrick Swayze has appeared at
That was no
Doomsday
ghost.
Wrestling.
That was no ghost. That was a time traveling Patrick.
Oh, that's
Swayze.
right.
You can decide. We're all supposed to keep secrets here. I'm not. Patrick Swayze isn't dead, folks. Let me just leave it at that.
He's an active member of the Doomsday Wrestling roster.
Not the roster. He's one of the chrono police that keeps the timeline safe, the Texan timeline safe, along with Buddy Holly and Sam Houston. Lots of other great Texans who I'm sworn not to reveal. But you put me on the spot, so
I
I
apologize.
had to give him a little bit.
I mean, it was for the sake of Doomsday.
I don't think I could afford a contract with.
We
Patrick
could not
Swayze
allow
on
we
the
could not
Doomsday
allow
roster.
Calendar to win.
No, they couldn't let that happen. The time stream is safe as long as those great men are keeping it safe.
That's right. So Kane, Big Show, and Seth Rollins going up against Ryback, Eric Rowan, and Dolph Ziggler. Kane, Big Show, and Rollins end up getting the victory. And I know this was sort of this was a match that was thrown together sort of at the last minute. So we didn't get to give our predictions about this. But, Kane, Big Show, and Rollins were, on top on SmackDown. And normally that means whoever's on top before the pay-per-view tends to lose, but it was not the case this time. So what were y'all's thoughts on the matchup?
The match was fine, but the booking was weird. I don't know if the Authority's going over. I don't know why Rollins wouldn't be the guy to get the win. I think it was Kane got the win after a Big Show hits the KO punch on the outside on Ziggler. The match was structured weird. I don't know why Eric Rowan's playing Babyface in Peril when you have Ziggler tailor-made for the role of Babyface in Peril.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I just don't.
Hot tag.
I don't get it. Yeah, why is he the hot? I understand the maybe the concept of you're building Ziggler up, so maybe he's a hot tag instead of your Babyface in Peril.
Mm-hmm.
But if he's losing and he's getting the pin, why is he a hot tag guy who's taking the pinfall? That makes no sense.
Right.
So, yeah, I don't
That
know.
lovely logic of
Right.
WWE.
I don't get it. The match was fine though. Ryback looked really good in this.
Mm-hmm.
I just didn't understand. I like the I like the idea of the finish, but it didn't. I mean, booking wise, it didn't make any sense.
Right. How about you, Tyler?
I really don't remember too much about it. I just remember the ending.
Yeah. Kane.
I really wasn't into it that much.
Yeah, Kane getting the pin over Ziggler. But shortly after the match, as the Authority were celebrating, Randy Orton returned, much to the delight of the crowd, and he delivered an RKO to Kane and J&J Security, but nothing really much to add after that. So the next matchup we got to see Goldust going up against Stardust. There was a nice backstage segment with Goldust and Dusty Rhodes. But the matchup, the crowd was definitely not into, but I was, I enjoyed the psychology of the matchup. It was sort of slow paced for a reason. and that was to tell the story. But Goldust ended up getting the victory over Stardust. But what did you guys think about the matchup?
There was another part in there I was trying to remember. Dude, my memory shot from this. I don't know why. I know it was just a few days ago, but still, I'm like, what?
Must have been good.
Yeah, that good.
It blew
man.
his mind.
Whoa, what the hell happened? I don't know. I think I also wasn't into it as much as I thought I would be.
Mm-hmm.
But what do I know? I don't know. Well, the feud will continue, so we'll see more at Mania. I would.
Yeah.
think.
How about you, Doug?
I'm going to disagree. I didn't like this very much, and I didn't like the psychology either because they set this up with a backstage promo with Dusty sort of talking to Goldust saying, hey, he's still family, that comes first.
Mm-hmm.
And Goldust says, yeah, he's my brother, but I'm fighting Stardust. And he essentially says, I'm going to beat it out of him.
Yeah.
So they build it with this promo basically saying he's going to beat the shit out of him and knock it out of him.
Going to beat him so bad he's not going to want to dress up as Stardust anymore.
And then they go out there and have a regular wrestling match that wasn't that good.
Yeah.
It lacked the intensity that the promo proposes it to have. And it just wasn't a very good match on top of that. I think it's right for Goldust to go over here if they're going to continue the feud, but I don't even want to see it anymore because I just can't get into Stardust. I don't like Cody that much. Goldust is vastly superior, but the sad thing is he's the guy that's on the way out. He's not the guy that's going to benefit from this.
Right.
Cody is, and it was weird that he came out. I guess maybe they thought that they were going to be too closely, the attire was going to be too close for them both to have the full suits on because Cody had his shirt off or whatever. It was sort of weird. I didn't like it.
Would it make any difference if Stardust was Cody?
No, I just don't think he's very good. I don't like the Stardust persona, but I don't think he's that much better as Cody. It's just he's good in a tag team with Dustin, but that's because Dustin carries a lot of the load.
Well, Goldust ended up getting the victory, and like Tyler said, the feud does look like it's going to be continuing, possibly to WrestleMania. So we'll have more to talk about for that feud. But the next matchup, we got to see tag team action: Tyson Kidd and Cesaro going up against the Usos for the tag team championship. I thought these guys got some pretty good spots in for the time that they were allowed. I think if they would have given a little bit more time, they would have had a really good matchup because these guys, have really good chemistry together. Tyson Kidd and Cesaro getting the victory on this one. So what did you guys think about the match?
I enjoyed it. I went with my heart picking Kidd and Cesaro to win because also it's just what I wanted to win. The Usos had the title for a while. How many times they had it? 3?
Usos?
Yeah.
I think they're 2 times.
2 times.
3 times. Someone like that.
But they won, and I was happy, and that kind of also kind of spilled what was going to happen for the last match too. So,
yeah, sadly. Yeah. Epic foreshadowing. How about you, Doug?
I thought this was pretty good. The Usos are good, but they're formulaic, and what's great about this pairing is that Cesaro and Kidd are having good matches with the Usos, but they're breaking them out of the formula the Usos normally have. Mm-hmm. So I don't know, I hope that they don't kill it the way they did with Miz and Mizdow, to where we see these guys wrestle 20 times between now and WrestleMania,
right,
where they kill all the,
surprises.
Right, anything that they could pull out. But yeah, I liked it. It wasn't balls to the wall awesome. It was just a good, solid tag match, but it was a good, solid tag match that broke the Usos out of their formula. And so I think these guys have a really good match in them. I think I would love to see them get time at Mania, but what I fear is that it's going to break down into your multi-team tag match at Mania, where they're going to include you're going to get 2 other teams thrown in there. Mm-hmm. That's what I'm fearful of. I'd like to see them give the Usos and Cesaro and Kidd just more time at Mania. I think they could have a legitimately great match instead of just this fun tag match that was sort of out of the formula.
Just give them a little more time.
Sure.
So, so Tyson Kidd and Cesaro, your new tag team champions. Next matchup, or it wasn't even a matchup, it was a stare down, showdown, whatever you want to call it. Triple H and Sting. no words said by Sting. He just comes out. And
Was that advertised like a stare down between Triple H and Sting?
Basically
Yeah.
Triple
Really?
H was
Who
saying,
wants to
I'm
confront
calling
him?
you out. I
Oh,
want
okay.
you to come out to Fastlane. And
Was there a winner to the stare down? Did someone blink or
I
turn
guess
their head?
I guess you could say Sting won because
He had a bat to his throat.
yeah.
You know what?
A
bat.
baseball bat. You know how
Oh.
Sting during the WCW days would carry around a
Yeah,
bat.
yeah, baseball bat.
Yeah, so he had that. Basically, Triple H is trying to coax him into just walking away, saying, "Hey, we'll make you immortal by slapping your face on a T-shirt, action figures, video games, the whole works. We'll put you in the Hall of Fame next year. Just walk away. Don't even worry about it." But Sting wasn't having any of it, so Triple H decides to attack him and beats him down. Goes to the apron, pulls out old trusty sledgehammer.
Oh wow!
Gets
So it's
in
a
the-
sledgehammer versus baseball bat. man.
Yeah, pretty much. And so Triple H gets back into the ring, and Sting's got the bat right on him. So he's like, "Hey, whoa, hey, okay, you got the drop on me." And
Has Sting said anything? I'm sorry. I should.
No.
he has not.
He hasn't
That's
said anything.
well, I mean, he has appeared before where he points at Triple H and then he said "you,"
Oh,
but it wasn't on a
he
microphone
just,
or anything.
he said it.
You know. But so Sting had the bat to Triple H, pushed him into the corner, pointed at the WrestleMania sign, and then
Oh,
He's
okay.
like, yeah, the WrestleMania sign's not working. Look at it right there.
yeah.
Uh,
But then Triple H tried to attack, and Sting turns around, hits him with the baseball bat, gives him the Scorpion Death Drop, and
Whoa.
yeah, that's all you need.
Okay. Well, have they revealed the motivation behind Sting while he's
Nope.
doing this? He's just.
He's just doing it.
no,
It's
they
all
just- they
speculation.
made up something.
He's
for
the
Triple H.
vigilante.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, is that
they
right?
don't say the
Yeah.
icon as much. They say the vigilante, and they made up a story for the Triple H's side of like, oh no, Sting's coming.
He was
back, and
WCW, I was WWE in its heyday, and
He
during
wants
when,
to,
when
he
they were
wants to
going
run
off
me
air.
out of
During
business
the Monday Night
because
Wars, like
Yeah.
they were on the same tier. And
Yeah.
he was like, we ran WCW out of here, and he wants to run me out of power, out of WWE. He's trying to get me out, me and my family.
I did
so-
see one comment that made me chuckle. It was like Triple H was not the guy in WWE. He just lasted longer than The Rock and Stone Cold.
Yeah, I mean, if pretty much like I remember there was going to be an angle at one point where Hulk Hogan came out, or Hollywood Hogan, I don't know what he's called at the time, in WWE. This is after WCW. He came out, and he mentioned briefly in the ring, maybe I ought to step into the ring with that rattlesnake, and then nothing ever came of it. Do you remember that?
I don't remember that part.
And everybody, I remember thinking like, well, like why they didn't even have a reason why he was going to do it. He's just like, maybe I should fight this guy. I mean, when they could have said,
Just for fun.
yeah,
That's just. I just want to step in the ring with a rattlesnake, an actual rattlesnake, not
Yeah.
not Stone Cold Steve Austin. I want to do an actual
Yeah.
rattlesnake.
I mean,
See
he
how
may
I
as
fare.
well have said, we've never wrestled before, so we're going to try to put a match together with two guys who've never wrestled. But I always thought, like, how come he didn't say, back when I was in WCW and then NWO, and we were, running things, Stone Cold was the guy who knocked us down, and I want to give that.
It was because of you, brother, that we didn't
yeah,
succeed. you know?
Yeah, but instead it was just for the greater glory. Like,
Greater
maybe I ought
good.
to fight that guy. Why not?
Boy, I dislike him for that reason. Yeah.
They're not really bringing Sting around that much.
Yeah.
Leading up
Very
to
selective.
everything.
Oh, okay.
And I don't like how he hasn't talked yet.
Yeah.
Because
Just to
usually
make him
if something
mysterious.
happened like they did at the past
He's
pay-per-view.
mysterious.
Oh, yeah. Most likely that person will be on Monday Night Raw talking why he did this, why he did that. And it's not. We may get him maybe the last 2 or 3 weeks before Mania.
WrestleMania, yeah,
Yeah.
which is 5 weeks away now.
Wow, okay.
So, but yeah, so I mean, we got the stare down. It's officially confirmed: Triple H versus Sting at WrestleMania this year. So, so be on the lookout for that one. But the next matchup, we got to see Nikki Bella going up against Paige for the Divas Championship match. I feel that Nikki has vastly improved her ring work.
Her
Whenever
mic skills.
Well, no, let's not go that far. But when she's given time in a match, she's actually pulling her own weight now. I was digging her work. I wasn't really a fan of the ending, but Nikki does end up getting the victory. What do you think about the matchup, Doug?
I agree. I mean, they didn't have time to tell much of a story, but I agree on all your points about Nikki improving a lot. She's come a long way, and I think if you're sort of shitting on this without actually paying attention, you're probably sleeping on someone who's
No, it's a Divas match, bathroom break.
yeah.
So, all right. Well, the next matchup we got to see Bad News Barrett versus Dean Ambrose for the Intercontinental Championship match. Intercontinental Championship, I should say. The match ends in a disqualification when Dean Ambrose will not break the 5 count by the referee after he was attacking Bad News Barrett in the corner. I mean, I get why they went with this finish. You want Ambrose to still seem, strong. You don't want him to look weak by losing clean. But I don't know. I didn't dig it. And then Ambrose stole the title afterwards, so it's like, okay, well, you lost your championship match, so you don't really have claim to the title. So
He just ran off with it.
yeah, he just took it. So, what do you guys think about the matchup?
It was a mediocre match with a shitty finish. If you're in your own universe, you create the rules, so it's fine to say that we're gonna throw this match out because he didn't respect the 5 count. But you've got not just at different. It's not just one of those cases where they selectively acknowledge things that works for whatever they want to do for right then. This is the case of selectively acknowledging shit in the same night, because you've got Daniel Bryan working an aggressive style in your main event where he's not breaking on the ref's calls and he's doing his old "I've got till 5" shtick. You can't fucking acknowledge one and not the other in the same night. It's a shitty finish. Like,
Yeah. Well, I mean, before that, he was constantly attacking him. The ref would pull him off, say, "Hey, man, you got to break it at 5," and so he would go back, keep attacking him, pull him back away again. "Hey, man, if you do that and I get to 5, you're going to be disqualified." Then he went back and continued. The ref counted to 5, and that was it. So, but still.
yeah, I mean, I think it's a really uncreative, really uninspired finish.
So, I mean, I get why they did it, but I just don't like how it was done.
I get that they didn't want to do a definitive finish, but if you pick a different fuck finish, if you're
Have
gonna,
Bad News Barrett get himself
Sure,
disqualified
sure,
or something. He's seeing that Ambrose is getting the better of him, and he wants to keep the title, so he delivers a cheap shot or something. But we couldn't do that because of what happened later on in the night. But after that, we got to see the Druids come out. They brought a casket to the ring. The Undertaker's gong sounding. The crowd's going nuts. But it was Bray Wyatt in the casket calling out Undertaker for a match at WrestleMania. So we'll have to see how that plays out. I don't know.
We talk about this a little further on the radio show this week. So if you want to hear
Yeah.
further thoughts about this, check out the radio show.
Yeah, definitely. Go to sportsradiobeaumont.com or download the app, and we'll make sure to post whenever the show is going to be coming on, so you can click the app and get everything rolling.
It's a great show.
Yes, it is. Our good buddy Tex Lonestar is on there. So
I'm all over it.
yeah,
I'll be listening to it.
all over social media.
Yeah, just all blowing up.
Yeah. So talking about wrestling things.
Here's some horns honking.
So good stuff. The next matchup we got to see was for the United States title. Rusev going up against John Cena. And I felt like this was a really solid matchup between Cena and Rusev. Rusev has really stepped his game up lately. I thought this was a pretty good matchup. Doug, what do you think?
I thought it was really good too. They were slow to start. It was like pretty methodical, but once they sort of got into the home stretch of, sort of fighting to break out of submission holds and stuff, it really heated up, and they really won the crowd over because the crowd really got into it. So I thought it was a really good match.
The crowd was lost for most of the pay-per-view.
Yeah, it was not a great crowd.
Yeah.
But I thought they won them over, and that's the important part. I understand the finish. I understand, obviously Cena's not tapping. You don't want to beat Rusev yet. I understand, and I'm sure it'll, pay off at Mania. So,
Yeah.
good match. Good match.
Yep. How about you, Tyler? What were your thoughts on the matchup?
I'm bad right now with all this stuff. I really don't have too much to say.
Okay, but the match ended with Lana grabbing the title because she thought that Cena was going to tap out.
Sorry, it's late. I know.
Yeah,
It's cool.
So she hops
got
up
it.
on the apron. The ref is like, "Hey, what are you doing?" As John Cena was powering out of the Accolade, Rusev delivers a low blow kick to John Cena, puts him in the Accolade once again, and the ref calls for the bell.
It's sort of important to say. I saw a lot of people saying, "Oh, he passed out because he got fucking kicked in the nuts." But it's important. It's important to know that the nut shot was setup for the super kick, and the super kick is what knocked him out into
Right.
So it was a little more to it than that.
Yeah.
Also, that he didn't tap.
He did not tap.
Right.
That is
Well,
correct.
yeah, we knew that, but I just meant that people were like, "Oh, the nut." Everyone's like, "Yes, I've been eating the nuts. It's not enough to completely incapacitate." God damn. Fuck. Say it for me. Say it.
Incapacitate.
No, I can't.
Thank you. No, I can't.
Try it one more time. Come on, you got
All
it.
right, y'all stop looking at me.
Okay.
Incapacitate.
Hey!
I think like my mind was like moving way faster than my mouth.
Yeah,
I don't know.
it's late. So,
Sorry.
So yeah. So that takes us into the final matchup to determine who's going to be the number one contender for WrestleMania. Roman Reigns versus Daniel Bryan. These guys went to war. This was a slugfest. You could tell Daniel Bryan brought the best out of Roman Reigns for this matchup. Really enjoyed this match. I know it was predictable towards the end. We saw how it was going to go down. But still, even with that, it was done well. They executed everything. It was, counter after counter with one another. No one had the upper hand for a long period of time. I was really digging this matchup.
Same here, and I wasn't at the point where I'm like that. Daniel Bryan lost, and I wasn't like, "Fuck, man, I hate this match because he lost." I was like, "Hey, it was good."
Reigns hung in
helped
there.
Him. He helped Reigns big time.
He brought the
this
best
is probably
out
the
of it.
best match Reigns has been in.
Yeah.
And yeah.
How about you, Doug?
I thought it was a legitimately great match. Like you guys say, Roman has only had, I think this is only his second singles pay-per-view match, but it's by far his best singles match to date, period. I thought it was great. Roman definitely held up his end of the bargain, so the praise that I'm going to heap on Bryan, I don't want it to come across like he completely carried Roman to a great match, but Roman did, hold up his end of the bargain, but no one else was going to get this match to Roman the way that Bryan gave this match to Roman, meaning he really gave him credibility going to the WrestleMania main event, and I don't know that anybody else could, and I don't even expect a great match out of Lesnar and Roman, because Lesnar is not the kind of guy who's going to build a match around like giving Roman credibility. That's not what Lesnar does. Lesnar is sort of an ass kicker. And it was interesting. It was really interesting in the way that Roman worked from beneath in this match. Bryan more or less worked heel. They worked. They really did a lot to build sympathy around Roman, which is sort of a weird dynamic, especially how they always want to paint Bryan as the plucky underdog, and he sort of worked toe to toe as like this aggressive guy who. They even built off of the Roman's like hernia thing with Bryan giving him the kick in the liver, and then that's sort of your big sympathy spots where Roman's going to do a lot of selling at this point, and it was
Working the leg as well.
It was a legitimately great match. I really, really enjoyed it. We sort of knew when he hit the big liver kick. I knew that was the setup for the sympathy, so I knew the finish for sure at that point was Roman, and I wasn't so much bummed out about Roman. Like, me being bummed out is not so much about Bryan not getting his spot at Mania. He got that last year, so I mean, me being bummed out was more about like I feel like we're going to be robbed of like a really fascinating and unique match that we could have gotten out of Bryan and Lesnar, and even if Lesnar resigns, I don't know that we'll get it because the dynamic sort of shifted to where Bryan's popularity has sort of taken a hit, and the way that they presented him sort of shitty. And we got Lesnar who's sort of being babyface because he's the only guy who's not coming across like a whiny asshole. He's sort of the guy who's just showing up and kicking ass and being like, yes, I'm a little cocky about it, but deal with it because I'm just kicking everyone's ass.
Yeah.
So, the one thing I do want to say is I don't ever want the WWE to tell me that the only way they can present Daniel Bryan is plucky underdog, because if you chose to make your next main event ace of the company babyface by having him work underneath Daniel Bryan as an aggressive heel who's sort of coming at him aggressively, like you chose to make Daniel Bryan an aggressive guy, so don't tell me the only way you can have Daniel Bryan stories in the future is for him to be an underdog, because he needs like a coat of fresh paint at this point. And there's just, I feel like the way he's been presented, his popularity's taken a hit.
Yeah.
And you gotta, the underdog stuff only works for so long. It would have worked with Lesnar because that's the sort of the ultimate underdog, big bully thing. But it's not going to work anymore because he's already been there and done that. And people, you're not the underdog anymore after you've already been there. People don't buy into it as much. So I want to see a new attitude from Bryan. I hope they fucking shave the beard. I hope they cut the fucking hair. I want to see an aggressive Bryan who's not fucking smiling so much. A lot of what Bryan's sort of popularity hit has been how the WWE has presented him, sort of as a whiny guy who's trying to manipulate his way into the main event, and that's on the WWE. Some of the things that are on Bryan that he can control is he's always smiling, and that works when you're like plucky underdog dude, but it doesn't work if you're not going to be presented in that way. So it doesn't work anymore. I want a new look. I want a new attitude. I just want Bryan as a fucking ass kicker, and the WWE better not tell me that he can't be a straight up ass kicker, because they made their new main event babyface off of Bryan being an ass kicker and a bully. So don't fucking tell me you can't present him in that way. I'm not going to hear it.
He showed that aggression and
yeah, I mean,
through those forearms and
yeah. And we're talking a lot about
uppercuts.
Bryan, but I don't want to take anything away from Roman. It's his best performance to date.
Yeah.
I still don't have the confidence that he's going to deliver in the main event, though.
well, especially
at Mania.
especially since Bryan was calling the spots, saying, "No, hit me again," and Reigns was really laying in. Like, I don't know if Lesnar is going to be calling those same spots, or not necessarily same spots, but to be able to tell the story of, here's this up and coming guy hoping to take down the champ. Are they going to be able to tell the right story at Mania?
Well, Lesnar may or may not call the match. I don't know how much like the agents are going to have their hands in this, but as far as Lesnar's not afraid to take like shots from Roman, like as far as like stiffness, but I don't get the feeling that Bryan's such a company guy. He was tasked with making this guy look like a credible WrestleMania main eventer, and he fucking did it.
Yeah.
And Lesnar is not necessarily concerned with making sure Roman. He's not the company man that Bryan is. He's not concerned with making sure Roman looks like a credible main eventer. He's not necessarily. He's more concerned with him making himself look like a badass, which he always fucking does. But,
right.
But I mean, it's a different dynamic.
Yeah. We'll have to see how that all plays out. So, I think this was a true test for Roman Reigns, and he passed. I think this was a good showing.
Pass for this turn, but not with Brock Lesnar.
I mean, we're just gonna have to see, because that's set in stone now.
Is that what's shaping up to be like the big WrestleMania main event?
That is
yeah. Oh, it's already been determined. And all
yes, Roman Reigns versus
the
Brock
Rumble,
Lesnar.
that's right, sorry.
So yeah, I mean, we'll have to see how it all plays out in 5 weeks for WrestleMania. So keep on. I think having Daniel Bryan, sort of endorse him, and what he did on Raw is probably the best thing that they have done for Roman Reigns since the Royal Rumble. Like, cut all the campy promos and stuff like that. Like, having Daniel Bryan next to him has probably been the best thing they've done in the past few weeks.
Fans didn't buy it, though. The fans didn't like it. They sort of accepted the finish, but when Bryan was sort of like, it's okay, you won fair and square, just make sure you kick his ass, like, the fans would have turned on that at that point. They sort of accepted the finish, and they sort of like went back on that. I don't know. It's not good. I mean, I don't know. It's not good for Bryan. Like, I get the feeling Bryan, if he gets a spot at Mania, which it looks like we're not even sure he's getting a Mania spot, probably against Sheamus or
Ziggler, from what I've heard.
It looks like Ziggler is going to be in the IC. It looks like they're going to do a multi-man IC thing. Ambrose sort of gave him the shoulder on Raw, if you look into that. So I got the feel, like, why re-debut Sheamus just to lose to Bryan? So I foresee Bryan, if he's getting Sheamus at Mania, I think Bryan's going to do the job. If he jobs at Mania, I want him to cut the beard. I want him to cut the hair. I want him to come back like with a new attitude. Like, he's not plucky underdog anymore. He's like,
This time last year, I was in the top of the world, and here I am this year, going back to where I was, losing to Sheamus at WrestleMania.
I want him mad and aggressive, and and they've proven that it works because they made their the guy who they think is the next star out of it.
Absolutely. So that pretty much closes Fastlane. It was, the undercard was hit or miss, but the last couple matches were, definitely worth checking out. So that brings us into Raw. We kick things off with Randy Orton coming out, wanting to call out Seth Rollins, but the Authority is out there and ask, hey, well, let's not dive into this. Let's have a meeting and discuss this. And for some reason or another, Orton accepts it. So it looks like they're going to be icing him down instead of riding the fast track to WrestleMania against Rollins. So,
which they are probably going to do in the middle, like between now and
well, yeah, but I mean,
Mania.
Why? Okay, with 5 weeks to Mania, why spend one of those weeks with him siding with Rollins instead of just saying no, forget that? I've been down that path, and I want nothing to do with you guys. It has nothing to do with being the good guy or the bad guy. I just don't want anything to do with y'all. I want to kick Rollins' ass. I don't care when it happens, but I'm going to do it.
Stop fucking cooling down your baby faces. Ride the goddamn momentum for once.
Yep.
You cooled Bryan down. You sort of cooled Roman down just by having to muck up the water between him and Bryan. The only guy who looks like a fucking fiery babyface is Lesnar, who's supposed to be a heel.
Yeah. So I don't know what their thought process is on all this.
What kind of reaction does Lesnar get? I know he's barely on, but when he is on, what kind of reaction does he get?
Favorable,
Really?
like, especially as of late. Favorable. It's because of how he's presented. He's a special attraction because he's only on so often.
Yeah.
So people are happy to see him when they do.
Yeah.
And when he does, he's not like whining or making. He's just kicking people's asses, and then people are like, he's cocky and conceited about it, but
He's not acting like a heel, really.
No. He's not cheating. He's
That's
not.
what I mean.
Yeah. He's an asshole, but like he backs it up. So he's just like, if I could beat everyone's ass, but I told everyone I was going to beat their ass, it's like, well, yeah, but he fucking beat everyone's ass.
Yeah, I always thought the thing about a heel was that there's monster heels who are just like unstoppable, but
and that's how he's been booked.
yeah, but it seems like to be a true heel, you have to be just under the baby face, and you have to cheat to beat him. That's at least the way I see it. But
No,
I know there are monster heels.
They've had him come in and just be completely dominant for the past 2 years. No one's gotten the upper hand on him, and
maybe they're trying to use the psychology that he's not so much the heel. He's just this. How is anybody going to beat this guy? Or less.
That's the idea. They're trying to make Roman Reigns off of beating Lesnar. The idea is to beat Lesnar in the main event of Mania, putting Roman over, because they gave Lesnar Undertaker's streak, and also he's been on this like tear for the past couple of years of beating all the top guys.
Yeah.
So the idea is to make the new guy by beating the guy who beat all the other top guys and broke Lesnar's streak. So he's completely credible. They've given him all the credibility in the world. He's just the only, if you're trying to look at like his character, the only like thing you could say that's heelish is just he has a bad attitude, but he's not cheating to win.
Yeah,
or,
he's not cowardly. He's not
Right.
begging off or
No.
anything like that.
Nah.
yeah, but the fans are siding with him because he's just a big badass.
Yeah,
so he's coming out, he's backing up what he's saying, and he's got Paul Heyman as his mouthpiece.
Yeah, I guess that kind of makes him a heel, though. I mean, having that guy in your corner.
Well, the people love
but
Paul Heyman. So,
they do? Okay.
So that's
I
even
always-
more reason to
Okay.
side with him, because they're like, oh,
Yeah.
dude, this guy is golden on the mic.
Yeah.
Because no one else can top him on the mic right now.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he's got everything working for him. He's got the money that he wants. He's working very select dates, and so, I mean, why not? So,
It's worked in his favor because he feels special when he does show up.
Yeah.
The people bitch that he's not on TV, but it's not his fault that he negotiated a great contract. That's not on him. That's on them to be willing to sign that one side of it, a contract. And also, what's worked in his favor by not being there every week is he sort of like inadvertently dodged all the shitty booking they could have given him by only showing up every once in a while, because when he does show up, they do need him to kick ass to move the story forward. So he avoids all the shitty booking just by having a pimp ass contract. Just everything worked in his favor.
he got everything he wanted.
What about when he threw Zach Gowen down the stairs? Remember that?
I think that worked for him in his favor. Not so much for Zach, but but yeah. So the first matchup we got to see on Raw, we got to see Dolph Ziggler going up against Wade Barrett. R-Truth was on commentary because he got a victory over Wade Barrett on SmackDown.
So why? Okay, because he's gonna be thrown into the tournament.
Basically, they're booking Wade Barrett to lose a lot, so that you have multiple people saying, "Well, I've beaten him, so I get a shot at the title now." So,
Well, Doug's beating him, so
Yeah, on WWE 2K15. So, yeah.
Well, which discipline did you use to best him, Doug? With that?
Little 50% Muay Thai, 50% boxing.
That's a perfect combination.
The perfect blend. I'm like a bartender. I put it in the little kosh.
And you should be called the mixologist because you're just mixing these styles.
Mixologist. I like it. I'm gonna start introing myself as that.
Yeah, there you go. So Ziggler ends up getting the victory. Yeah, so it looks like we'll have a possible fatal four-way.
Fader four-way.
Between Barrett, Ambrose, Ziggler,
What
and
word
Truth.
was I fucking up a minute ago?
Incapacitated? I can't say it.
Incapacitated?
I'm trying. Incapacitated. Incapacitated. There you go. Hard to say.
Good stuff.
Decapitated.
So, do you think we'll see a fatal four-way? Do you think this might? Do you think this might add up to even more people as the weeks roll on?
It's multi-man for sure. I don't know where they're going to draw the line.
So, well, I guess we'll just have to see. But backstage, we got to see Randy Orton completely lose his momentum and say, "Yeah, I'll work with Rollins. Why not?" So, what else?
Punt him in the skull.
In the skull, yeah. So after that, we got to see primetime players reunite going up against the Ascension. I thought this was going to be a match that they would kind of like draw out, after a while, but they had their match
Ascension
right then.
can't work those long tags.
No. So,
nope.
Well, I meant like over the course of a couple of weeks.
Oh, okay. I
like,
thought you meant the match time. Like they
No,
thought they were
no,
going to
no,
give
no.
him more time.
I mean, it was a quick matchup, but the primetime players ended up getting the victory, which, hey, that's a great way to book your new up-and-coming tag team. Have them
They don't give a shit.
But, I mean, I don't know. I guess if you're going to have...
They just got back together, too, though.
Yeah, so... I don't know.
Also, we're going to see what the Ascension thinks about the Bushwhackers going into the Hall of Fame.
Oh, the Bushwhackers going to the Hall of Fame?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yep. Over the Freebirds.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And they're in.
There's
they're
rumor
in
that
Dallas,
Freebirds
right?
are going to be going next year, but...
Oh, but it seems like they do it if they're in Dallas this year, right?
That'll be next year.
Next year they're in Dallas. Okay,
Yeah.
well, okay.
2016.
Right. Okay.
WrestleMania 32.
Huh.
Dallas. You going?
I've never been to a WrestleMania. Maybe I should go.
That'd be
You
the-
guys are probably going to go, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, maybe I'll go.
Cutting my honeymoon short so I can go to that.
No, that's where he's going
Oh,
on
really?
for his honeymoon is WrestleMania.
I'm romantic.
I'm trying to tell my fiance, I was like, look, we'll go on the honeymoon and then fly into Dallas on our way back, go to WrestleMania, and then we'll just drive home.
Yeah. Is she
No.
going to go? She can go with you?
No, she's
Okay.
not going to go.
She doesn't like wrestling?
She'll go. She goes to the local shows. She watches it with me and stuff like that.
Okay.
So she's not opposed to it. She was whenever we first started dating. She was like, wrestling, that fake stuff, because she's more into UFC.
Yeah.
But then I was like, well, let me explain it to you how everything's going and stuff like that. And so now she's
Now
actually
she realizes UFC's fake, right?
absolutely, yeah.
Fake ass shit.
The only real stuff is wrestling and monster trucks.
Monster truck.
That's
I
right.
always say.
She
Yep.
put a headlock on his heart.
That's right.
Right, yeah.
Yep. So, anyways.
Better cut this man a fucking check the way you're still.
So next up, we got to see Roman Reigns and Daniel Bryan cut a promo. Bryan completely putting over Reigns, saying, "I was your biggest doubter, and I didn't get the job done. I threw everything I had at you."
Call him a pussy.
Oh, yeah. Well, no, I don't think he called him that, but yeah. So and then Paul,
Hey, we say JJ on this show.
we do.
Called him a vagina.
Yeah, there you go. So
Sorry.
So Paul Heyman comes out and says, Reigns, I've backed you from the very beginning since you walked in. You could beat any man that steps through those curtains and comes down to this ring. But the thing is you're not going up against a man. You're going up against a beast named Brock Lesnar. So, yeah, what do you guys think about this promo?
I don't know. I don't know what to think of it. It's just more of Brian sort of, placating the crowd as far as trying to temper their response.
Here's
to
who
him.
you cheer now, guys.
Yeah.
Don't boo him anymore. Crowd control.
Well, they're also, I guess, like, hey, let's still put you in here because we're still not for sure on Roman.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Nah, he's in the main event. There's no backing out of it
Yeah,
now.
there's
I
no
know
ifs,
that
ands, or buts about
he's-
that now.
In the main event for sure, but the crowd's still
Oh yeah.
iffy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what we're saying though.
So, yeah. Anyways, after that, we got to see the Usos invoke their rematch clause for the tag team titles going up against Cesaro and Tyson Kidd. The match ends in a disqualification. How did it end? I know that Naomi pulled either
Tyson put his foot on the ropes to make the pin. Naomi shoved his feet off the ropes, and then when either Kid or Cesaro, I want to say Kid climbed, or no, one of the Usos climbed the top rope to get the splash, and then Natalya crotched him on the top rope, or pulled him.
Right.
She
pulled him down to have him land, and so the ref called for the bell for that. So
I am terrified that they're going to turn this into an intergender tag in WrestleMania. Not because I'm not okay with intergender, and not because I'm not okay with women's,
but because we're not going to get a lengthy Uso Tyson Kidd and Cesaro match.
Well, more so because of the way that they book their intergender matches is that action has to stall so that the women can either both women can get in or both men can get in.
Right.
I just don't think that's the right call for Mania.
They got to focus on Total Divas.
I don't think that's what this is all about.
So intergender means the men can fight the women, right? And I think that's what it means because that's what Andy Kaufman was the champion of.
Right.
No, I really do.
Yeah, that's what it means everywhere but WWE.
Oh, really?
I'm the king. I'm the king.
But what was it? What
king
is it when
Memphis,
the guy,
Tennessee.
if the woman tags in, the guy has to tag out to the woman?
That's what the
That's
WWE
what
does.
WWE's version is.
Oh, but didn't they used to call it something else though? It seems
Maybe,
now
maybe it's
now
mixed,
it's
mixed tag. I think
Mixed
mixed
tag.
tag is where you have to tag
Right.
out
Sure.
the respected
Correct.
sexes, but
Sure.
intergender is.
Semantics, Tex.
I'm
Semantics.
just making sure. I'm into.
I'm the new
shit.
king of Memphis, Tennessee. I knocked that Lawler out last week.
Yeah.
So,
Memphis, Tennessee.
you from Memphis? So, yeah. Anyways, not making fun of Memphis. We're just doing a little Andy Kaufman there.
R.I.P.
Hey,
I've been to Memphis 3 times. I've always had a great time in Memphis.
hey, there you go.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
I like Memphis people. I like the people of Memphis.
You like them even more if they come down to Houston.
That's right.
This
If you're
Saturday
from
for Doomsday
Memphis-
Wrestling.
If you're from Memphis and you're listening to this, and you're in a car, which you're probably not, because I'm thinking of their radio show they do.
Yeah.
Honk your horn or clap or something, and if you do it loud enough, maybe I'll hear you. But if you come into town this Saturday, I'll put you up for the night.
Yeah, there you go.
Get you some breakfast.
Place to park, and maybe a dinner for 2 at Poncho's.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe.
Would you be so bold as to say that if any people come down from Memphis for the show on Saturday, that you would be willing to knock like $1 off the ticket? How about that? That's a nice little deal for
From
the
Memphis, exclusively for the people from Memphis.
Right.
I'll knock $2 off the ticket price.
Must show proper ID.
Yeah, you got to have a Memphis license plate on your car or your rental.
Tennessee license plate.
Yeah, well, I guess if you flew here, yeah. No,
Driver's
I know a
license.
Memphis license. plate.
Driver's
You have
license.
to have a Memphis license.
Okay.
Particular to that city. Yeah, driver's license.
The state of Memphis.
Yeah. Oh, I thought you meant Memphis, like Egypt. I didn't know you meant Memphis, Tennessee. Joking. There was a Memphis, Egypt, right? Am I being
I have
stupid?
no idea.
I think it's named after Memphis, Egypt.
That
God,
could be.
Beaumont really is the least educated city in the nation.
Yeah, we're pretty
That
bad
is
about
true.
that kind of stuff.
No, I'm
now.
teasing. I could be wrong.
I'm not. We're pretty
I'm just
dumb around
being,
here.
being stupid.
But yeah. So the next matchup we got to see.
No, I love Beaumont. I'm kidding. I love Memphis. And if you're from Beaumont and you prove that you're from Beaumont, I'll knock 50 cents off the cover.
All right.
There you go.
Sweet. Got ourselves a deal here, guys. Might have to take the trip. So next up, we got to see Jack Swagger going up against Stardust. Very short matchup because Goldust music played, and that was all that Stardust needed to be distracted. Swagger puts on the Patriot Lock and gets the win.
I don't care about this match.
Okay. All right. Well, then going on from there, we got to see John Cena talk about his matchup against Rusev. And Rusev retorted saying, oh, you gave up, you're a quitter, blah, blah, blah. So it looks like we're going to continue this feud to WrestleMania. Any thoughts on it?
Not really. I wish they would have stayed the course on it being about Rusev saying that Cena's washed up and not like sort of defaulting back to like the patriotic stuff. Bless you, Tex. Jeez. As far as like the whole Russia USA thing, I wish they had just stayed the course of it being like a personal matter between Rusev and Cena. I can invest.
Last year
better.
was Cena's legacy. This year, is he washed up? Is he
Right,
too old?
right.
His heart
He's
will
not
go
too
on.
old. He's only 37. So the whole them calling him old was
His heart will go on.
they sort of backed away.
Well,
from
in the
that.
wrestling world, that is kind of up there.
Nah, guys are
Didn't DDP get a start at like 35?
He
Somewhere
did,
around there,
he
yeah.
did.
There you go.
Guys are primed until they're
And I'm in my prime. I'm 38.
Yeah, there you go.
I look like a million.
You-
Don't look a day over 37.
You've still got time to get in the WWE.
Hey, I think that's. I
In
think
fact,
I should
it's a
announce.
shame that you haven't been in the WWE.
You're
I think,
older
right
than
now.
John
I should
Cena.
announce it right now.
Yeah?
That's
Candidacy?
2015.
The
I'll
year
be-
of the Lone Star.
This is it. This is it, folks.
This is your run.
You're announcing your intentions to enter the WWE.
No. I thought you were talking about something else.
Oh, all right. So yeah, after that we got to see the Bella Twins going up against Paige and Emma. 30-second matchup, really short. Nothing to take away from it. Bella's
This is
ended up
probably
getting
a
the
shot
victory.
at Breeze running her mouth about them not getting enough time on the shows.
So, if I can interrupt for just a second, the diva stuff. I hate calling it that. I really hate the term diva. By the way, how do you guys feel about the term?
I'm a diva. I'm a
I mean, is that the
since they've
theme?
been having it for a while,
We're kind of used to it, I guess. Yeah, but like even
Look, diva is the female version of a hustler. Of a hustler.
why don't they start calling the guys hustlers then? I don't know. It also seems really dated. I mean, you know what I mean? It seems like a word that was hot like 10 years ago.
90s or something.
Yeah,
like that,
and even Booker T's. I hate to rag
The
on
Diamond
indie
division?
wrestling, but yeah, they have the Diamond division. It just seems like such a. They would have called it the Divas, but that was taken. And what if the Diamonds had been taken? Would it be like the Emerald divisions, or what would it be?
Sapphire.
The Sapphires, yeah.
Yeah.
But I watched a
Cinnamons.
match.
The Cinnamons.
recently- Yeah, the Cinnamons. We used to have a women's title at Doomsday Wrestling, whatever company.
Which is happening this Saturday. At
which is
Numbers.
happening this Saturday, folks. Oh, where did Tex Lonestar go? Oh, here he is, Saturday at Numbers. But we used to have a women's title, and we always wanted to make it. It's a joke. We always wanted to make it a pair of shoes. Was the title just to be like super sexist as a joke, but we never did. But
Wow.
But anyway,
So men get the belt, women get the shoes.
yeah.
Okay.
But Divas, I watched a match the other night on YouTube of Alundra Blaze. It was from like 94 or 95 versus Bull Nakano. And you should check it out if you get a chance. YouTube Bull Nakano versus Alundra Blaze. It's really great. It's just a great match. I mean, I'm not BSing you. It's just great. And I'm wondering, okay, if I know women's wrestling now or diva wrestling isn't what it used to be back in the 90s, or even in the early 2000s, really, with Trish and Molly Holly. And do you
Leah
think
and all them.
if it went back to that, meaning more, I say legit wrestling, but more convincing wrestling, would they get more viewers? Or do you think it's a business decision, obviously, because they want to push this reality show, and they're probably doing pretty well with that. As a wrestling fan, though, you kind of want to see good matches.
Yeah.
So, but I guess they're not trying to just appeal to just the hardcore wrestling fan who wants 5-star matches all the time,
Well, I feel like, if you have a show that's centered around the women's division,
Yeah.
why not have the women's division go out and put on some good shows?
Yeah. How could that hurt?
Yeah.
Yeah, in other words.
So, I mean, when you have 4 women in the ring and the match lasts 30 seconds,
Yeah.
it's just going to end up as a highlight clip or something.
But do you think? I mean, I'm not actively watching. I mean, I catch it at wrestling every once in a while or WWE. Can these women just not wrestle that good, or are they just not giving them that much time?
Some can't wrestle that good.
Some of them are just hired for their looks.
They're
and
just models, basically. Who
Yeah,
are
exactly.
athletic.
Train
Yeah,
them.
I see. Okay,
It's like, we'll train you, but
you're not going to know how to do much.
yeah,
I see.
you got a 2-minute match. Probably 90% of the matches end up with a roll up.
Yeah, that's what I always catch whenever.
So
I see
I
it.
mean, if you go and watch NXT, the sort of I guess the minor league, or
farm
whatever,
league.
they've got women there who are tearing the house down. Like
Wow.
people were saying, dude, this is a match of the year, contention.
Yeah.
So, then they get called up to the main roster, and it's like, oh, we're not going to see you.
Because they have all these pretty models they want to feature
Yeah.
instead. Okay, yeah. But I guess the dollar is the bottom line, or I guess they see it as they're going to make more money
I don't know.
pushing this show.
I think you would have more
than
money if you had,
compelling matches and there's-
compelling matches and compelling stories
On their-
to post on the TV
reality
show.
Okay, yeah.
I don't know.
How does
How
the
about-
reality show sell it like it's kayfabe? Do they sell it like wrestling's legitimate, or do they?
These guys?
It has like its own brand of kayfabe. There has like the wrestling show
Universe A
kayfabe.
and
There
Universe
is like
B.
there is like the Total Divas version of the kayfabe. So it's like
Yeah.
it's like 2 different
Huh.
realities.
So they don't. Will they talk though? Like, okay, you're going over in this match tonight, or do they act like it's a legit
No,
contest?
sometimes the stories can reflect on what happens in a match,
Hmm.
or can sort of affect what happens in a match, but it's never straight like that sort of inside baseball stuff, but sometimes they do talk about like getting like opportunities and stuff.
Yeah.
But it's never so inside baseball as to be like so and so's going over. This
I
is,
see.
you know what
It's
I mean?
not that revealing.
The thing
Right.
that kills me though is like they film these shows, months in advance of it airing.
Yeah.
And so when Raw comes around, they'll say, "Oh, did you watch what happened on Total Divas last night?" And they'll show a clip from something that happened months ago. Yet they're having a match pertaining
Oh
to
wow.
that.
Yeah, I guess that's weird.
Yeah.
That's tricky.
That's the whole
scheduling.
Universe A, Universe B discussion.
Yeah, so
we
that-
have.
But I'm sure on the show they sell it like this thing happened last night and that's real time, right?
Right,
Like, they
and
don't
that's
reveal-
what they're doing. They're like, "Oh,
Yeah.
I can't believe you slapped them on the show that aired last night.
Yeah,
So
even though that
we're
was
gonna
months
put you
ago.
two in a match now." And
Yeah, it's like they were reminded. We did this months ago, but
Right.
I just watched that footage.
oh,
and I'm mad all of
I
a
heard what
sudden.
you said in your confessional about me. But I
That's
don't know.
interesting. Yeah, wrestling does a lot of weird, or at least modern day wrestling does a lot of weird stuff like that. Like I remember, I'm always referencing stuff from like 10 years ago when I come on this show.
Ah, the good old years.
The Acolytes Protection Agency had that. Remember
Yeah.
they had that office backstage with
Yes.
the stand-up
Yeah.
door and
With the door.
and the filing cabinets. I think it was Test and Albert. What a great tag team. TNA. What a great tag team that was.
Yeah.
They trashed while the Acolytes were in a match. They trashed their office, and it was on the screen, of course.
Mm-hmm.
And oh shit, their office is trashed. Then the next show rolls around, and Bradshaw and Farouk are walking backstage, and they walk by their trashed office. Now, it obviously happened in a different city. Now we can assume that maybe they trashed it again when they got to that city.
Right.
But it was sold kind of like,
Hey, what happened?
hey, I can't believe they did this. You know,
Yeah.
like we saw this last week.
It's been
I
a
can't
whole
believe
week, and we're in a completely different venue. What the hell happened?
Yeah, or did it happen again? But it's that kind of thing. I guess you're just not supposed to
It's that
worry
continuity
about.
you gotta worry about.
And if I can get a little meta on you for just 30 more seconds, I don't want to take up your time here. Another thing that I always thought was weird in wrestling, and I always noticed from a dramatic standpoint. Okay, you have entrance music, which we've had for a long time now. You know, since the 80s, I guess. When that plays,
Yes.
it's intended that the audience can hear it, the viewers at home can hear it, and the wrestlers, you assume, can hear it, right?
Yes.
It's not like score music in Star Wars where the characters do not hear it. But if you think about it, like if back in the day Triple H would be out in the ring cutting a promo, a super long promo, like every episode of Raw would start with, then in the middle,
How things have changed.
yeah, oh,
Triple H cutting a
does he
promo
do
over a
that
long
now?
time at the beginning
and
of
then,
the show.
Then in the middle of that, you'd hear "If You Smell," and Rock would come out,
Right.
And Triple H would hear the music and he'd turn and he'd stop and look for the Rock to come out. Now Rock was just walking out there.
Right.
Now, if you think about that, like, did Rock tell someone? If you think about this from a realistic standpoint, did he tell someone, "Hey, I'm going to go out there because I don't like what this guy's saying,
Right.
but I can't just walk out there. You got to play my music for me." Or did someone see, "Oh, Rock's coming. I got to get his music ready."
Yeah.
I'm just saying, if Triple H didn't acknowledge that, you could assume, "Oh, they can't hear the music. It's just
I've
background."
I've
it's
thought
just something interesting.
We've actually discussed something about that before in the past, where like, in current days, when like there's a group of guys just beating up on
how
someone.
do we see that? Yeah.
Well, like,
Oh, I'm sorry.
normally it would be like, okay, so they're beating up on a guy in the middle of the ring, and back in the day, someone would just run in the ring and try and fight off the guys.
Yeah.
Now it's okay. He's gonna get his ass kicked for about 30 seconds. Play the music. Wait for the cue for him to walk out. So his
Yeah.
music's playing, and then he comes
Yeah,
running
or
out.
the lights
so it's
have
like,
to
is he
blink
like
or
just
something.
standing backstage and be like, man, I got to do something. Hey, play my music. Come on, play my music. I gotta get out there. All right, let's go. You know, and then he runs out there.
Yeah, well, also, I mean, you could say like the backstage segments where there's not a guy interviewing them; it's just two people talking.
Yeah.
it's like how are we seeing that? I mean, it's kind of they're just cameras
Or it's
installed
like
everywhere.
they have the microphone stood up,
Yeah.
ladies and gentlemen, please welcome my guest at this time, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, that used
and
to
so
be-
then like they hold the microphone for the guy, but then someone else comes to the other side, and so the guy just walks away with the microphone, yet we can hear exactly what they're saying. So it's like,
Yeah, it's
what's
not-
the point of the microphone then?
It's not something I guess we're supposed to think about.
We're
but it's
breaking
just-
all these rules.
It's just funny though if you
the
stop and
walls
think
down.
about it. And the weirdest part, if I can
the intent, if I can cut you off real quick, I think if you like overanalyze it, it doesn't make sense. But I think the intent with the music,
none of it makes sense.
it's like right. Nothing,
get the crowd
none of it
pumped
actually
up.
makes sense. It's so that the crowd knows to react. Like,
yeah,
as it's
definitely. Oh, it's
happening.
all for theatrical reasons. I'm
Right,
just
right.
saying, but if you put a real world
Right.
logic to it,
Sure.
like, well, also you could argue, why do these guys hate each other every week? Are they fighting throughout the week, like as they travel through the cities, and then we happen to catch it on TV?
Like they happen to be like on the road and they
in
both pull
cars.
into a 7-Eleven or something.
Yeah,
Like,
or
no,
They're in the same car together.
like fighting the whole time. Yeah. Well, I mean, there was one time where Orton was feuding with Undertaker for the upcoming WrestleMania match, and Undertaker was getting into Orton's head, and Orton was backstage, and his father Bob Orton walked by, and Orton was like, Dad, I'm kind of flipping out, or I'm losing my mind, or whatever. And then Bob Orton's like, really, son, are you okay? And then you somehow see through Randy Orton's eyes, and you see Bob Orton, and his eyes are like bleeding, and he's covered in blood. But it's like somehow we saw through Randy Orton's eyes for that segment, so it's kind of a weird thing. Anyway, sorry, I didn't mean to get all
crazy.
Yeah. Sorry, I totally derailed this.
You guys sound like you don't even like wrestling.
what the hell's going on? Yeah. No, I just it's just something.
We appreciate
to
the
think about.
theatrics.
Yeah.
Theatricality.
Okay, you can continue your show now.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so then after that, we got to hear. Just go right back into it like nothing happened.
Yeah.
So the Bushwhackers are the next Hall of Fame inductees. So, I mean, we've made our point of thoughts of the WWE Hall of Fame. So, whatevs. They're in. Whatever. So the next matchup, we got to see Curtis Axel going up against Ryback.
Ryback.
Right, yeah, the reuniting of Ryback, only for Ryback to get the victory over Curtis Axel. Anything to really take away from the matchup?
Ryback came off like the dick here because, I mean, even if Axel was being a little annoying, like they were they ended their team on good terms. They just went their own ways, and he came out and was like, "Why are you being like whatever?" He's just being a dick.
'Cause he's the big guy.
Also, when he said whenever he said that,
Is that his catchphrase?
Yeah. Well, that and feed me more.
he said something
I'm
about
gonna be the master of the feed me more.
he said something about the Ryback being like the best tag team of all time or whatever, and then he shook his head no, like as he was saying.
The big guy.
Feed him more Cracker Barrel.
Hey, you guys want to go Cracker Barrel?
So Ryback ends up getting the victory. That takes us to the main event. Daniel Bryan, Roman Reigns going up against Orton and Rollins. Daniel Bryan and Roman Reigns end up getting the win. Anything to really take away from the matchup? Nope. Orton.
No, not really.
Orton delivers an RKO to Jamie Noble.
Yeah, but
And it looked like he was going to attack Seth Rollins, but he helps him
Rollins.
up and whatever. Slow
That's on his
burn.
shoulder.
Yeah, good shot. Good game, guy. All right, see you in the shower. So there you go. That wraps up.
In the shower.
Yeah, so that's yeah. So that ends up being the end of Raw.
And now, Total Divas with Doug and Tyler. Mostly Doug.
No wonder people call you fat on Twitter.
Shut up! I have to say, I feel like a real diva.
You are a grown-ass woman.
Hey, Total Divas time. Yeah. So, this week.
Hey,
This week.
Would one of y'all like to use this microphone so you're not like face to face?
Yeah, we can be face to face if you want to.
like the band face to face.
Yeah, we could be that. Okay.
Yo,
so
yo.
3 storylines. Okay, so
He tries to act like he's too cool.
yeah, he's too cool, but his fiance
a
watches
man.
Total Divas.
He's
so
he's got a penis. He can't talk about this.
Well, I can't. You guys are the best choice.
Right.
Who understand women.
Right.
That's why you guys.
Right.
I'm gonna go with the sad storyline first.
Sure.
Okay, Natalia.
Let's try and do the condensed version this week.
Okay. So, yeah, I know. It's real quick. Well, pretty much throughout this whole episode, she finds out that her mom, there was some sort of leak, I guess, the toilet. It made
Their
it
house
sound-
got fucked up.
It got messed up somehow. I thought they said, like, the toilet overflowed or a pipe busted, but the whole house flooded, and it was in bad shape, and... Natalia's dad's in rehab, so it's just the mom. So
Yo, we're trying to do a motherfucking segment over here.
yeah,
I'm sorry.
Yo, we don't need
It's really
the
fun listening to you talk.
we don't need the fucking heckling.
No, it's really-
hecklers
it's
from
not
the
you
peanut
guys.
gallery.
Oh, the content of what you're
So she's talking to TJ.
Their
and,
house was like a little bit fucked up, but not like majorly fucked up.
no, they just showed some parts of it, and
Still
so
nicer than my fucking apartment.
So
Jesus Christ.
wow,
this is the best segment.
yeah. So TJ calls a friend, a contractor. They came over, looked at everything, and they, over time they fixed it. Throughout the episode, it seemed like it was like a day, but I don't know how long it took. They fixed it, and the mom came back, and she was speechless and all that stuff. And I think things were getting a little better between TJ and Natty, and that was it.
Yeah. Well, she did the thing where she was like, they're fighting, they're having their marital problems or whatever. They're the most unlikable couple on, like, we say this every week, but they're totally the most unlikable couple.
They have an ugly
but
cat.
She the cat's ugly. Yeah. She calls them and she's like, yo, I know we're having problems, but I got this shit with my family. Like, I need you. He does the thing where he starts to be like, are you really just calling me to ask me to help out with this shit or whatever? But then he like sort of like takes it down. He's like, okay, fine, I'll call some people who know how to use hammers and shit.
And then next storyline was Eva Marie. They went to Las Vegas, family vacation. Everybody was there. It was like her douchebag brothers with her dad and everyone else, and they had the grandkids. So Eva Marie was talking to her brothers and was like, hey, let's do a little bucket list for dad. Because, what does he have, like cancer?
I forgot what he has.
But they were like, well, we're not going to call it that. But the whole time she was like calling a bucket list thing.
Right.
It was like eating a big ass hamburger in a certain amount of time, a contest like that.
I wonder if I can do that. Do you know of any places that do that around here?
No, I do not.
We should. I bet there's some in Houston.
There's a great. It's kind of far away, but I've eaten it like several times. It's in Fredericksburg, which is near San Antonio. It's the number 2 burger in Texas.
Right.
Voted by Texas Monthly, and if you can eat this certain giant burger in like 30 minutes, you get your name on a wall. I mean, you don't really get anything. You get a t-shirt.
You get a
t-shirt.
And you don't have to pay for the food at all, huh?
What's that? What?
You get that t-shirt.
You don't have to pay for the food, huh?
Oh yeah, and you get it free.
How big of a burger we're talking?
It's like 6 patties or something.
Shit, I could fucking eat that.
You think so? But it's really, the hamburgers themselves are really freaking great, though.
I mean, I eat like 6 hamburgers a day. I can definitely eat. I think I can eat. Yeah, that's just no sweat.
Yeah. Anyway, it's called the Alamo Springs Cafe. If anybody's in Fredericksburg listening, check out the Alamo Springs Cafe.
75% off. Off their tickets.
Yeah, tell them you know me, and you get
Tex Lonestar
put on my tab up there. Yeah. Yeah, on your way to Houston.
Cross promotion, they get $1 off the burger, and they also get $1 off the show.
That's right, and one of those dollars goes to the charity of their a portion of that dollar goes to a charity of their choice, a charity of my choice.
Whoa, yeah. So back to this. So they also do skydiving. Well, the dad didn't.
Would you skydive?
No.
Fuck that.
No.
No, fuck no. I'm afraid of heights.
No,
man.
I'm afraid of heights too. Not as bad as I used to be, but I just don't need to be doing that.
No, it seems like an unnecessary gamble.
Yeah, it sure is. It doesn't seem like the payoff would be worth it.
No. Well, didn't they say like, okay, you're gonna be jumping?
I'm gonna jump out of this airplane. It's gonna be really fucking scary. I may die. Maybe.
Well, I thought they said something like, oh yeah, you're gonna jump out of the plane, but it's gonna be like 11 seconds until you hit the ground. Is that what they said?
I don't remember.
No, it's got to be longer than
I
that.
know.
Right?
I was like, what the fuck? Yeah, it's like, no, they were like, you have enough time to pull your parachute. And I was like, no, that does not make sense.
So they should pull it when they're on the plane then and then jump out. I mean, just to make sure it's out.
Then it'll like whip around the plane and get caught on the plane.
They did some hiking and stuff like that.
Hiking is a shitty bucket
And I wouldn't
list
hike
item.
either. I mean,
She was hiking in hills.
Not
apparently.
worth the payoff.
What's up?
She was apparently hiking in hills.
Oh, really? Oh, those are just clever shots. I mean, she had shoes, then they'd give her heels for the shots.
Probably so. But
who are you to?
You guys shouldn't believe everything you see on TV. Okay,
you gotta believe everything.
You know,
man.
Alf isn't real either. He's not really an.
Well, he's part of this episode. So then later on, no. When they were,
that's a real like chauvinist point of view to believe this woman couldn't hike in her heels.
No, I think it's empowering because it shows that she doesn't need to look hot while she hikes.
We didn't say she needed to. She wasn't obligated to. She was just capable. She was capable.
Do you understand your white privilege? You want me to get to school?
I check my white privilege at the door every day. Tex Lonestar.
Oh, this coming from a man. I'll collect all your male tears in a cup and season my meat with it. No, I'm actually joking. I see people saying this kind of stuff all the time.
I like so. I'm just joking. I seasoned my meat with something else.
Yeah.
I'm just joking.
I'm joking. I'm just trying to keep you guys here as late as possible.
I'm just joking. I say things like this all the time.
I'm just joking about everything I say ever. I don't want to be responsible for it. I don't own up to anything. I'm just joking. There's no show this weekend. I'm just joking. No, there's a show this weekend. You should go. Yeah, that number. Houston. I'm sorry. Total Divas.
Okay, so
All right, wrap it up, B.
He does not want to get on the plane. He walks off. They hear something about the
dad
bucket
or
list.
Jonathan?
No, the dad. He doesn't want to jump, and so the brother sold Eva Marie out. Like, oh yeah, Eva Marie says she wanted this bucket list thing, and she was like, what the fuck? And then she talked, or the dad was talking. She's like, I don't know what's this deal about this bucket list thing. I'm feeling great, I'm just here to have fun. And he's like, y'all need to stop talking about this. It's like, so later on they go back to the hotel. They're all talking and stuff, and then I think they iron everything out. Then the next day they race some race cars and tear shit up and stuff, and that was it.
Sounds like they just find stuff for them to do, huh? And just let them do it.
Off the top of your head, give me Tyler Abear's top 3 bucket list items. Go.
Oh shit.
Rattle them off. First thing comes to
Bucket list things.
Top 3. Give me 3.
Oh, dude, I did not fucking know. Oh, I didn't want to go scuba diving.
That's boring. Go ahead. Number 2.
Oh, okay. Oh, I don't fucking know.
I want to eat a big hamburger.
I want to eat a big hamburger. And
that's only one. What do you mean and like you got a third?
I don't have a fucking bucket list.
Okay. Your bucket list is scuba diving. All right, let's go.
I don't fucking know.
Oh shit. All
Okay,
right.
the last storyline was with the Bellas, and Nikki has a problem spending money, and she wants this bag because there's these 2 designers that are collaborating together, and there's this bag that's like $21,000, right?
Right.
And
21 clams.
yeah, and then Brie was like, "You don't need to buy that. That's just stupid. You need to save your money." And then, but apparently John buys it for her because she was probably saying, "John, buy it for me." But John will buy anything for her. So
as a total, you're reading from a transcript, right?
oh, okay, yeah. So John buys it for her, and then they go to a meeting, and Bree was trying to prove a point to Nikki that, hey, you need to save your money, but they got turned on her because they were like, oh, she's gonna have a baby, or she wants to have a baby soon. And he was like, well, have you ever thought of saving your money? And what did he say?
Whoa, who's having a baby soon?
No, they're not. She was saying they were trying to point out, remember how the last episode that...
What if we accidentally get pregnant?
Yeah, like that. And then
but John doesn't want kids.
No, it's Bree.
Oh,
remember the meeting?
Up.
Did you watch that?
No, I didn't see this episode. That's
okay, well...
I'm just trying to help you guide through it.
Well, they flipped the table on her, so that meeting with that guy, yeah,
you're surprise pregnant.
Yeah, you're pregnant. You've been fucked.
You're pregnant.
That's another whole reality show.
And it didn't turn out as she expected. And that was pretty much the end of that episode.
All right. Well. If you were surprise pregnant, what is one thing that you spend an obscene amount of money on that you would have to learn to not spend an obscene amount of money on? Off the top of your head, go.
Statues. No, bust. Yeah.
Bust.
Yeah.
All right. That's 12 Days this week, motherfuckers.
Girl, bye.
Good stuff. Bravo. You can see why the fans demand
No,
it.
that was pretty good, though.
Yeah.
That was really good.
Yeah.
I'd rather listen to you guys talk about it than watch that show.
We're more entertaining than the show itself. So, did you guys want to dive into Lucha or go straight to Q&A?
We'll just go to Q&A.
Go straight to Q&A. Your questions, our answers. First question coming to us from our boy Thomas. Drop it low, son.
Low, son. Drop it low, son.
Saying, hey guys, 2 questions for you fine folks this week. A wrestling related one and a not so wrestling related. Rated. Firstly, I want to talk to you about one of my guys who I've liked since his debut back in 2007, Cody Rhodes. With his reputation for making questionable gimmicks work, dashing, disfigured, stardust, etc. Cody's really grown on me, and there was a time when I thought he could have made an excellent SmackDown World Champion. In his recent comments after Raw, he made remarks against the Attitude Era, namely current superstars Goldust, Big Show, Kane, and Mark Henry, who in Stardust's eyes are taking spots of young guys such as himself. However, this got me thinking, as it is nearly 8 years since Rhodes' debut, I thought I'd ask you guys, do you think Cody Rhodes has peaked in his career, or do you think his best moments are ahead of him? And if you think he has peaked, when do you think that was?
I think he's peaked.
Yeah?
I think he peaked in the tag team with Goldust. When Goldust came back, when they did the angle where he was fired whenever he went to get married or whatever.
Yeah.
I think that's peak Cody Rhodes right there. That's the best he's ever looked. The most
Right after Rhodes Scholars.
No. Past Rhodes Scholars. I'm talking. I'm talking when they quote unquote fired him. He went and got married. He came back, and then that's when Goldust came back, had the match
and
with
they won the tag
with Orton, and they won the tag titles. I think that's your peak Cody Rhodes right there. Most interesting he's been, because he was sort of the only time I've like emotionally connected like with his character, when he was sort of like the fiery babyface guy who just just sort of fighting for a spot in the company. I think that's peak Cody Rhodes right there.
I would probably agree with you. So good stuff. So now on to the not so wrestling related question, as I'm sure you are all well aware, as you no doubt must have this date circled in red on your calendars. My 20th birthday is Sunday, the 1st of March. Woo! Happy birthday! Saying, don't have much planned for my birthday for the day itself, as prices to dine out always shoot up on Sunday. So having cake and pizza on the Tuesday. But I want to know, what would you choose as your ideal cake flavor as well as pizza flavor? I guess he's surprised that prices go up on
prices
Sunday.
Go up on Sundays?
Maybe over there.
Maybe in the UK. I don't know.
Oh, really? Do that? Okay,
it's possible.
For no reason. We're laughing like a bunch of arrogant
They're making.
Americans.
I know. Y'all
Sunday.
This is why people hate Americans, guys.
That's right.
This is why people hate Americans.
Prices go up.
We pay normal prices on our Sundays.
But that's really odd, though. I've never heard of that.
Yeah, I've never
that
heard
is
of
kind of
either.
strange,
Yeah.
but so what would be your choice as an ideal cake flavor as well as pizza flavor? Basically, as if you were to show up on my door as a surprise birthday guest. Don't worry, I'll act surprised. What should I prepare for you guys? Take care and keep being you.
Tex Lonestar, kick us off. Favorite pizza flavor and favorite cake flavor.
Oh man, I like all sorts of cakes. I like pizza all right too. I like traditional pizza. I don't like any of this fancy yuppie pizza. I just like tomato sauce, mozzarella cheese, and probably I guess he's asking what topping combination. That's really up to me, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'll take sounds so unexciting. It's I'll say pineapple, Canadian bacon, and mushroom. I had that the other day. It's really good. I also just like pizza with a lot of stuff on it.
Yeah.
Like just supreme pizzas. As far as cake goes, I like all sorts of cakes. I love cakes. I do.
Grab them cakes.
I like this really. Yeah, you remember that Junkyard Dog song?
Beefcake?
That's the reference.
I don't like beefcake so much. I don't like meat in my cakes, but I like just really double chocolate cake, like with lots of chocolate, and I also like ice cream cakes.
Ooh,
There you go. Yeah. Doug, how about you?
I'm a pepperoni guy if I'm feeling sort of froggy. All right.
Hungry?
Sometimes I may go with like a pepperoni with like jalapenos, or a pepperoni with jalapenos and banana peppers. That,
When you
want
to kick it up a notch.
Yeah, kick it up a notch. Bam. Also, like I doubt that the UK has this shitty pizza place called Cece's Pizza.
Yeah, it's terrible.
with really shitty cheap pizza. But my favorite thing from Cece's is they have that taco pizza where it's like. It's like, I'll shut your fucking mouth, Tex Lonestar. You shut your whore mouth. No, but It's just like regular pizza, but it has like hamburger meat, lettuce, cheese, and like shredded cheese, and then like salsa on top. I like that for some reason. That's my jam at CC's Pizza. You
The
probably
best
know.
pizza value anywhere.
It's like $6 for all you can eat pizza.
Yeah,
It's a good deal.
I remember one opened in my neighborhood when I was a kid. It was like $2.99, and it was like cardboard with cheese on it.
Sure,
But
but
we ate
it's,
there all the time.
yeah, of course. I'm not a huge cake guy. I mean, I like cake just fine, but I gotta have like a middle piece. I don't like the corners because it's like too much icing for me. You know.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, I like what you said. I like where your head was at with that ice cream cake stuff.
Yeah.
Though that's the good shit.
Yeah. You like jumping out of cakes, though, right?
Yeah, all the time. How you think I make rent, dog?
How about you, Tyler? Favorite
Yeah,
pizza?
I like the works, with bell pepper, black olives, mushrooms. I'm just also a pain. I'm a pain. I'm a pain to everybody. I like the plain pepperoni.
Yeah.
Cake. I'm not a big cake fan. I like cheesecake,
Oh, yes.
and then
Cheesecake Factory. Yum.
This one has cake in the name, but it's really not the cake. It's not really cake. Cookie cake from the Great American Cookie Company.
There you
It's
go.
not really cake.
Funnel cake?
Ooh, funnel cake. That's not really cake either, but
Bunch
I like
cake?
it.
You like bunch cake?
We're just naming cakes.
Yeah, let's just name all the different cakes.
Here's my problem with Supreme is I like a Supreme, but I like light on the olives, and even if you say light on the olives, they give you too many fucking olives every
Yeah.
time. Like, I don't mind an olive, but I don't need overpowering olives,
Yeah.
Fuck that.
No way.
For me, I like hamburger pizza, pepperoni pizza, the Canadian bacon,
You would.
all that good
I don't
stuff.
know what that means.
All that good stuff.
He loves his meat.
Yeah. So as far as cake, I'm fine. I like red velvet. I'm traditional. I like white cake with white icing. I like chocolate cake with chocolate icing. I like all the good stuff.
Talk about white privilege.
Yeah, I know,
White
right?
cake.
I like cheesecake. I like cookie cake, funnel
Carrot
cake,
cake.
cake. I like cupcakes.
I like cupcakes. I heard that red velvet in Europe. I've just read this a few times. I've never experienced it. On my travels to Europe, which are numerous.
Promoting Doomsday
yeah,
this
yeah.
Saturday.
yeah. I heard that red velvet cake is like a joke. Like it's looked upon as some sort of like
Oh, really?
chemical concoction that Americans created or something.
Hey,
Red
well,
velvet
it's-
cake's the jam.
It is
pretty good,
delicious,
yeah.
though.
It's not my favorite, but I like it already.
Go to Cheesecake Factory and get their red velvet cheesecake.
Oh,
Oh,
I'll do it.
oh,
I'll do it.
oh.
Oh,
So, yeah. The
Yeah,
good stuff.
next week we're. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So happy birthday.
Yeah,
happy
happy birthday,
birthday,
Wilson. Yeah, next week we're gonna cover Lucha Underground. This week it's a late show and
It's already after midnight.
Yeah, it's not a great episode really to jump in on anyway. But now that Abear's got a little backstory to work with, we'll jump into it next week.
Okay.
But wait, we have more questions?
Yes, we do.
Okay, go.
A couple more. Next question is from Flaccid Peepee,
Placid people.
saying, "Hey guys, good show this week. Thank you for answering my question."
Is that his full name?
That's the username he chose on YouTube.
Placid.
Yeah, I will be getting ROH stuff very soon. Anyways, I thought Raw was excellent last week, and I really wasn't expecting Flair. But as for Fastlane, the whole number one contender match is a little pointless because if either Bryan or Reigns wins, Rollins is mostly likely coming out of Mania as champ. With that said, what do you guys think?
Yeah, I think it's a strong possibility. I think the big question mark is we don't know if Lesnar has re-signed, and I think he only has one date scheduled past Mania and probably the Raw after if he doesn't re-sign. So I think that's the big puzzle piece that we don't necessarily know how it's shaped.
Okay.
Speaking of Ring of Honor, before you move on really quick, if you want to hear us talk about Ring of Honor this week, all that's on the radio show this week. We talked this week's ROH TV. We talked about the 13th anniversary card and gave predictions and all that good shit.
All that good stuff.
Download that app.
Yeah, download it.
Or
Sports
watch
Radio
it.
Beaumont.
Yeah, check it out.
So, Flaccid PP also says, something else I've read, a few spoilers for the NXT tapings, and read that Rhino was returning. What do you guys think about that? That's something I didn't see coming.
Also, Brian Kendrick.
Yes.
Well, there's been some sort of talk about making it like a touring promotion and not necessarily just exclusively like a training thing, like like it's not just exclusively to cultivate talent. Maybe sort of making it somewhat an alternative
Special attraction.
Yeah, like its own sort of little thing. And if they're going to go that route, then I can see them using your veterans who aren't really tied down anywhere else to sort of help give you. It'll help accelerate the if a bunch of guys are trying to learn and get better, they're just like bouncing off of each other. It's not as helpful as if you mix some vets in. It'll speed up the process for some of these guys.
Yeah.
Not that all of them need it, but
Never hurts.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, final question tonight coming to us from Primetime saying, hey, guys, it's your boy Primetime sliding in like Sub-Zero on the road to WrestleMania. Here to talk a little Taker versus Watt at Mania. I think Bray should use a quote that I heard in the movie trailer for Godzilla. It's on YouTube called In Alamo Gordo, New Mexico. It describes how the prince has now become the new face of death. You guys should check it out. Plus, what did you think of Godzilla 2014? I'm the only person that I know that loves it, and everyone else thinks that it sucks and makes me feel like an asshole for liking it.
That sounds like scary. What was the first thing you said? It sounded scary.
In Alamo Gordo, New Mexico.
I don't know. I'm gonna make a confession and say that I didn't see the 2014 Godzilla.
Tyler, did you get to see Godzilla?
I did not.
You did not? I saw it in 3D. I liked it. I would have liked to see a little more Godzilla. I think that was the main gripe for a lot of people. It was too human focused. But
Right.
I had no major issues with it. I thought it was really cool. My favorite part was where Godzilla destroyed one of the monsters in a very kick-ass way. So, but yeah, I didn't have any issues with it.
I didn't
You liked it?
see it, but I had a friend who saw it, who's a huge Godzilla fan. He loves all the Godzilla movies. He didn't like it. Well, he didn't hate it, but he didn't like it too much. He did complain though that that the monster was called Godzilla for they didn't really explain why.
Mm-hmm.
Did you remember that?
I don't remember that part.
Or did they even call him
Let them
Godzilla?
fight.
Yeah, so I don't know.
Let
I
them
haven't seen
fight.
it, but who knows?
So I think in the 93-minute run, Godzilla was present for 8.5 minutes.
Oh, really? Wow.
So yeah, it was
Well, so isn't this the one where what's his name?
Bryan Cranston.
He was straight off of Breaking Bad, and they made this.
Yes.
They cut the trailer around him, and he's only in the movie for 5 minutes.
He's in the
Well,
first
he plays
act.
Godzilla, right?
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah,
what I
absolutely.
heard.
He's
what I heard.
his drug dealer. Sells him a good
Bryan Cranston's only in it for a little bit.
for the first act. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
He does.
I can't tell you that.
Spoilers, mother.
I know, dude.
This is a spoiler.
How about this? How about you go
podcast.
watch the movie and enjoy it?
I finally saw Birdman this weekend.
Yeah,
It's pretty good.
I
liked it.
agree.
Yeah.
I liked it. I thought it was really good.
Have you seen The Theory of Everything?
No,
No,
I've been hearing good things about that as well.
Yeah,
I just saw I had to go buy the fucking Blu-ray of Birdman because it didn't play anywhere around here. I would have had to drive.
it's already out on Blu-ray. Jesus.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, I mean, it came out
I guess it was
November.
I guess I saw it late. I saw it.
It was one of those select theaters that came out in November.
I heard good things, and plus I'm a Michael Keaton fan, so
Yeah, it was a really good film. So go and check that out. So so that's the show. Thanks for your comments. Thank you, Mr. Tex
Oh,
Lonestar,
thank you guys
for joining
Thank
us
you for
this
having
week.
Me. Sorry to keep you here late.
I know it's going to be a long trip back to Houston.
Appreciate
but
the ride you're going to give me to the airport. tonight
Absolutely.
after the show.
Yeah, Tyler's going to hook you up with that one.
Oh,
so.
thank you so much, Tyler.
Yeah.
clown nose for you.
Oh, well, thank you.
You want to make
I
one?
already have
last,
my own though.
You want to make one last sell?
One last sell,
The
folks.
hard sell.
One last sell, folks. If you a first person who goes to the door at Numbers this Saturday, February 28th, and walks up to the doorman and says, "I want to kiss Tex Lonestar on the mouth," gets in free. There you go, folks.
Nice.
First person who does it. Doomsday Wrestling.
First
Violence
person
has
who
never been
does
this
it or
funny.
first person who says it?
First person who will. You can do something by saying who says it.
Okay, I just
To the
wanted to clarify.
doorman,
Like first
yeah.
person to kiss you on the mouth or
No,
the
no,
first
no. Oh,
okay.
no. They don't have to do it. They don't have
Okay.
to do it, but unless they want to.
I'm gonna kiss you on the mouth right now.
Oh, well, that's what you're still not getting in for free.
Got to be first in the door.
That's right. The first person to say it, and if you want to do it, we'll see.
He's gonna judge you on your attractiveness level before.
Before I ain't kissing just anybody.
So there you go. So make sure to submit your questions on our YouTube page, WNS Video, our Facebook page, WNS Podcast. Check us out on WrestlingNewsSource.com, WrestlingNewsSource.com on Facebook.
Don't forget to plug the radio show.
And don't forget to plug the radio show. We're on SportsRadioBeaumont.com. You can download the free app on your smartphone device by searching Sports Radio Beaumont and good stuff. So, check us out on WrestlingNewsSource.com. Subscribe to us on iTunes by searching Wrestling News Source Podcast. And Doug just whispered something in Tyler's ear.
They're probably gossiping about Total Divas.
Yeah, more Total Diva talk.
You can find us on Stitcher, Beyond Pod, and Player.fm. Just search Wrestling News Source Podcast to find us.
You can follow us on Twitter at WNS Podcast. Daniel's at WNS_Daniel. Tyler's at Tyler_Aber. Doomsday Wrestling's at Doomsday Houston.
Thank you. And DoomsdayWrestling.com, Tex Lonestar, Doomsday Wrestling on Facebook.
So there you go. For the podcast crew, I am Daniel Heron.
I'm Taylor.
I'm Darnell.
And we will catch you all next week.